All good morning, and this is our 18 days now. It is the 19th day of training. I want to thank each and every one of you for the cooperation. I want to especially thank the sponsors, 360 SMS, Demand Blue, Starring, who has been giving background support for us for this training. And coming to our training part, this is our 19th day of training. And today we are going to learn about LWC. This is the part 4. Already we have covered 3 parts. First part is covered by Satya from Salesforce, and 2 other part is covered by Ambit Gupta from 360 degree. And today we are going to have the complete day session with the Lightning LWC component only. So for today our speaker is Naresh T. He is from 360 degree cloud technologies. He is having 2 years experience in Salesforce. He has worked on LWC. He is having a good complete experience in LWC. So he is going to take our session. And if you have any doubts or clarification, we can have the Q&A session will be there, and we can clarify your doubts. And by 11:15 to 11:30, we'll be having a break. So this is what our agenda for the day.
Thanks, Anand. Hi, team. Good morning.
So actually, I got this opportunity from company side. So they said like it's a Chennai group. So that's great to know because I'm also from Chennai. Still, I'm working in a Chennai only. So yeah, like myself, Naresh, I'm working as a Salesforce developer in 360 degree cloud. So I'm having around 4 years of experience in the Salesforce domain. I'm having a 2 years. You can say around 2 years. So there I have worked more than 10 projects, most of the things in the LWC side. So like that's why I'm here. And apart from the professionals, you can say I'm loving to play the chess. Okay, so yeah, you can say like this is a way only myself, and I think you can say that this training and the section is very new for me because before I'm not given like much things in the training side. So like I think I hope I will do my best to everyone. Yeah, so this is about me, and we will jump into the section in the LWC. So I heard the things from the like Anand side. We already 4 weeks is crossed for the LWC, which means 4 sections. Okay, so yeah, like before starting from our side, like can anyone from your end like just tell me like what is LWC and why what is the use of like learning the LWC? Can anyone can anyone unmute yourself and tell me?
Hi Naresh, Deepak here.
Yeah, Deepak.
Like LWC components are feasible with any browser on any device. Like whatever behavior it will show in a edge browser, same behavior we can expect in mobile browsers and any other browsers or any platform. So that's why we use LWC components.
Okay, so we can't be able to do that in the Aura.
Yeah, Aura also we can do.
Yeah, then what is why like people are like eager to learn the LWC and client are expecting the LWC? Why?
Yeah, because the web stack has been changed, like how website were
That's
built on earlier. So
yeah.
some functionality like what I say, HTML definition has been changed, and more of the functionality which server handled and client handled has been reshuffled.
Yeah,
So that's
that's
why
that's
LWC
right.
support.
That's right. Great, Deepak. That's a right answer you can say. So, but if you can say simply, okay. So nowadays, like before, some people don't know about the Salesforce. So nowadays, more people are knowing the Salesforce. So how? Because we are day to day, we are getting upgrade, right? Okay, the same. Okay, in the Salesforce, first time they have built it, they have utilized the VF page. Okay, and later they have used the Aura complex. So now they are using the LWC, but still VF page is also there, Aura component is also there, but the upgrade is happened. Okay, So that upgrade is happened because of like the system is also get upgraded. You can say before like in the 2014 we are having the Aura component. That time the ECMAScript is in the older version. So now the ECMAScript is in the updated versions. So those updated versions we are using in the LWC. Okay, so that's the reason that update everywhere in every system in every company the upgrade is happening. Okay, so that's the reason like the people are also expecting the LWC. Okay, so that's why we are also learning the LWC. Okay, so let me share my screen and let's give you the directions. So guys, let me know once you can see my screen.
Yes, we can see.
Yeah. So you guys are like already seen the LWC, but I will do like again a catch up from the scratch. Okay, so that will help you maybe like you will align to the section. Okay, so before going that, as I had already told you, I'm working in the 360-degree cloud, consulting from the angles. You can see it here. So here, like you can say that 360 is a platinum partner. Here like there are more projects is involved in all the phases. In the name itself you can say like with this 360-degree. Okay, because here they are covering a CPQ, like most of the things in the Salesforce. If it comes in the Salesforce, like we are covering everything. Okay, so that's why the name is also mentioned as a 360. So if you are seeing here, you can say the resources. If the resource like we have 600 people. In the 600 people, we have the developers and specialists. Specialist means you can say BA, admins, and QA. So many people and architects and trailblazers. So it's not only like you can say freshers, because here like so many experienced people is there. That's why we are handling so many clients. Okay, and if it comes in the certifications in the 360, they are supporting like all the people in the training and development. That is very important because they are not considering only for that client side, they are considering the people also. Okay, that's why like they are like telling to the people you have to improve yourself, like in the future also it will helpful for us. Okay, so that's why like they are providing the vouchers for the certifications. So that's why people are almost they are having a 400 plus certifications. Okay, and the office you can say like 6 offices. Okay, like in the USA we have Noida, Faridabad, Pune, Jaipur, Kolkata. Okay, so they are like the peoples are splitted and based upon the projects, so they are working in a separate teams. Okay, so yeah, like if if I'm telling you the 360-degree cloud, there are so many things. Okay, because you can say every weeks we have the funds and like enjoyment, not only the works and all. And like we have the partners, you can say like these demo jams, and we have 40 plus of partners almost. Okay, and we are also like a member of that pledge 1%, and you can say more things in the single PPT. We can't able to add so many things. For like your reference, I'm just giving some kind of information about the 360-degree cloud. So yeah, if you want to learn more things about the 360-degree cloud, you can reach me out. So or there are lots of people. If you visited the website also, you can search more so many things. Okay, so and let's go to the yeah. So this is a like you can say slide of a speaker. Okay, so I already given the introductions about myself. I'm the Naresh and I'm the Salesforce developer, and I am having around 2 years of experience in the Salesforce development and as well as admin. Okay, so yeah, still I'm also learning like because like I can't say like I will know each and everything. Okay, because if you are in the development side, there are lots of things to learn. Okay, still I'm also like learning so many things in the LWC integrations and in Aura as well. Okay, because the Salesforce is getting updated. That's why the Salesforce nowadays is a very top technology. Okay, so let's see. Actually, maybe in the previous week, one of my friend has covered a few of the topics. Like these are the topics we are going to cover as we already planned. Okay, so the introduction to LWC and how to set up the development environment. Okay, and the different decorators are used in the LWC, and the communication between the parent to the child and child to the parent. And you can see so here the independent component. Okay, and like how we are going to access the Salesforce data. Okay, which means what is the Salesforce data? LWC is also a Salesforce, but we are telling here access the Salesforce data. So data is nothing but it's kind of a information we are going to access it. So we will see it in the future, and the LWC fundamentals like so here in the topics you can see like if it comes in the LWC, there are so many things. Okay, there are so many things to learn. Okay, but if you are starting your career in the LWC, if you're starting your career in the Salesforce developer, okay, at least you have to learn the fundamental. Like if someone is asking what is LWC, you have to tell, yeah, this is the LWC. Okay, I know those things. I can able to create a component. I can able to get the information from the like client side and the server side. Okay, so that's why we are given this kind of topics to be covered. Okay, so okay, so let's start into the sections. So before going to the this Deepak is told like about the usage of the importance of LWC. Okay, so before going to that, I just want to the people. So you guys have installed the BS code, and you guys have done the setup before. I think I'm seeing here almost. 42 people. So except two people, I think 40 people is there. So is everyone is installed that VS Code or
Yes, sir.
like okay.
Yeah.
So if anyone is not installed, then you just let me know and put it in the chat. Okay. Yes. Okay. I'm receiving more. Yes. So that's great, guys, because it's required. If it comes in the LWC, we can able to do it in the here only, right? Because we can't able to write the codes in the our developer console. Okay, so that's very important to like install the LWC, and the configurations also, that is very important to the configurations. So that's why I'm asked. Okay, so let's go into that topic. Okay, little bit deeply. Okay, and one more thing also. So here, like people are taking the sections. Okay, so people are going to listen the sections. Okay, but we will make the sections is very interactive. Okay, so not only like I'm showing you some kind of things and I'm showing the codes, I'm showing the component. So we will make these sections very interactive. Okay, if you guys have any doubts, you can reach me out, or like it's depend upon you. We can also do the Q&A in the end. Okay, or we will interactive like it is not only you don't think like an Arish is taking the sections we are listening. It's not like that. Okay, I'm also your friend. Okay, you have to think like that. So then only you will learn easily without kind of any hesitations. Okay, okay, guys, let me start. What Deepak? Yes, play in Java. So I don't know like what it means. Okay, I'm seeing your comments, guys. Okay, fine. Okay, let's start. The introduction to LWC. As we already discussed the introduction to LWC, what like nowadays more thing is working in the web standards. That's why we are preferring the LWC. That is the main thing. Okay, and in the 2014, if you're seeing that web stack, that we are utilizing the ECMAScript 5. But now you can see this is in the 2019. We just put this screenshot. Okay, but in still like we are in the 2022. Okay, so there we are in the upgraded of ECMAScript. Okay, what are the JavaScript is available for the versions? So those all the features we are utilizing in the LWC. Okay, that means the usage of we can handle so many things in the client side. Okay, nothing to hit in the server side. So you guys very well know about this, what is client side and what is the server side. So if you don't know, like I will also give you a like little clarity. So CLI, Shital, what you are meaning for the CLI? Can you unmute yourself and tell me?
Actually,
Shital?
you asked about configuration, like
Yeah.
yeah. So that's what we are telling, that we have integrated our VS Code with CLI.
Wow, that's great. Now that's great because that will help like me to go the sections smoothly. So that's great. no issues on that. Okay, so see, like if in this screenshot itself, you can see it like the seeing the difference of the web stack and how it is going to the web standard. Okay, before you can see it's like simply in the orange color, like how many feature is available, but now this orange color is increased because of the web stack in transformation is increased in the LWC. Okay, so if you're reading this line, it's a new programming model to create the lightning components. Okay, still Salesforce is telling it is a lightning component. Inside the lightning component we have the two differentiate component. One is the aura, another one is the LWC. Okay, still Salesforce is not telling LWC. Still Salesforce is saying the lightning component. Okay, still people are using the aura component. Okay, so that's why it's built on the latest web standards and designed to give better performance. As like Deepak is like said, 100 percentage. That's like for the better performance, we are utilizing the LWC. Okay, and the modern web standard, which I already said, and compatible with the Aura components. That's very true and easy to use. Okay, because easy to use means like we can able to do so many things in the client side. So that's why we are telling you easy to use. We can add the validation from the client side itself. Okay, and better security and better testings and better browser compatibility. Okay, so hope you guys like now. I think if you guys already having this knowledge, okay, but again I'm telling because if I started from the like start itself, you guys will having some kind of bond with me. So that's why. So now you guys have the like basic introductions of LWC. So that's great. So this is also the same thing because like here I'm just telling that comparisons. So nothing much. So here before in the 2017, 14, we are having more framework and less native. But now you can see it's a more standards, which means it's more web standards, less proprietary. Okay, so that's why we are people are started using the say LWC and started using the to create the LWC component. Okay, and let me check on any scenarios where we can use LWC in real time. General example. See, there are scenario means like it's not kind of a scenario. Okay, see, like the people are how we are using the lightning component for it is a UI purpose. Okay, so for the UI purpose, we are going to add the HTML, we are going to add the CSS, and we are thinking like that UI have to be looks good. Okay, but the UI is not a matter. In the back end, whenever I'm clicking any kind of functionality, that time it have to work perfectly and it have to work efficiently. Okay, so that's why in Salesforce we are having the Aura. So compared to the Aura, LWC is working like more. It is the performance is more while compared to the Aura. That's a performance increased. Okay, in Aura also you can build so many things in the CSS, UI side, and so many things. But if it comes in the performance, the LWC is playing a like big part. Yeah, that's great, Deepak. That's a good comment. So I think I appreciate it. Okay, so now let's move on to that the same setup development environment. So you guys have done the this setup. Okay, so if you guys have not installed it, let me know. Like because this is a very important one. To install and to update the CSP CLIs and all. So if you guys have not done, please do it. Okay, or else like I'm having the PDF. Maybe if you want, I don't know, like Anand, is there any way to share the PDF to the people?
Yes, we can share it. In the chat itself, we will be having file is there, no? Chat.
Okay, then that's great. I'm sharing, guys, actually in the chat. Okay, this will really help you for that guide to install the configure the system. Okay, so that will very useful for you guys as well. If you guys have not installed, if you guys have not um, like connected with the Salesforce, then this will help you. Okay, so I sent in the chat then, so you can also download it. If any other people is want, you can share to them as well.
Yes, I will be posting it in Telegram group also. Okay.
That's great. Yeah, yeah, great. Okay. Okay, so I think you guys are good with this. Let me check. I know someone is uh, theory. What kind of performance more? So yeah, the performance. Yeah, theory. So the performance. What kind of performance more? So in the LWC, I already told you. See, if you want to do some kind of operations in the client side, can you do it in the Aura? In Aura is also supporting the JavaScript, but can we do more things in the JavaScript? No, right? Because in the Aura we are using the ECMAScript 5 JavaScript, right? But in the LWC you can do so many things in the client side itself, which means in the JavaScript itself. Okay, so that's why that performance is increasing. Okay, it is avoiding to hit the server, right? So when we are going to hit the servers, if we want to access any kind of data, or if it have to return something from the database, so that time we are going to hit the server. Okay, so for each and every time if you are using the apex, which means server side class, so that time it is very like the performance is getting low. Before that, if we can able to do it in the JS side, so that's a performance you can say. Okay, or if you want to like that is a more technically if you are involving in the performance side. Okay, but if you're like if it is a basic side, this is a performance we can say. Okay. Okay, so now let's go to here in the LWC fundamentals. Okay, so in the LWC fundamentals, so here it's mentioned the agenda, create project, authorization on all to connect with this project, component bundle, data binding, conditional rendering, and looping or iterations. So here, like you guys, maybe some people will know, some people are new with that. So like what is a project and what is authorization or to connect with these projects and all. So today we will see like how to going to connect those and all, right? So before going to that, have do you guys have any doubts, anything? Okay, I think all set is good. Yeah, RA is nowadays going on. Yeah, right. Uh, it's not like a takeover. Actually, it is not like that. Nowadays, people are also creating the RA. Okay, so you can say like LWC is an updated system. See, before 1 year or 2 years, like the flow is came. Okay, so that time like people are taking like process build is going to be off. Okay, we have not think that much, right? We are started to using the flow builder. Okay, so now like workflow is going to be end. Okay, the same maybe in the future, but it's not like in our hand. Okay, if the people are started most things in the LWC, maybe the aura will go down. Okay, so the same like in visual force also we are having using. Okay, still like the most of the company are using the VF page. Okay, but it still went down. No, still the people are using, but they are upgrading the system. That's the reason. Okay, yeah, yeah, fine. And let me check other chats. So on more new messages, fine. Agenda for this is same as previous. Okay, Deepak, yeah, I think I don't know like how many Anandis told me they have covered from the decorator itself. I don't know like how many things is covered. So, but I start. I will go with other things. But before going to that, I'm just started with like from the scratch only because at least that would be very pressure for you guys. So that's why. So and one more comment I seen Praveen Venkata. Yeah. So can you please share an example where JS can do it in our LWC, but not in ARA? Okay, that's a good question you can say. A simple thing I can say from my side. Okay, in the LWC we can use the import module. Okay, but in ARA we can't able to import it, right? So that is a very important point. Okay, so nowadays, learning visual force is worthy. Okay, it's not like I'm not saying to any person learning is worthy or not. Learning is every time is a worthy. Okay, if it is a visual force or a NWC, but the learning is important. Okay, not only like what you are learning, but I am suggesting to learn the new things. Okay, instead of going with the old functionality, learn the new things. Okay, so we will see like those questions in the end. Okay, so now let's like dig into that projects. So create project. So what is project? What is project? We are going to say the LWC. So if you are going to the VS Code, okay, we have to store the codes in our local system. Okay, for that we have to create at least a folder separately. This org is Naresh org, or this org is a Deepak org, or this is a developer edition, or this is a sandbox. So we have to tell to the local system or the folder this is this org, right? Which means this in this folder this org codes is available. So for that reason we are going to create a project. We are telling, okay, we are telling for this project we are having those kind of codes. That's a simple one. Okay, and the second thing, authorizations and or to connect with this project. Okay, so now we have created a project, we have created the folder. So now how I can able to deploy this codes from the local to the Salesforce, because the Salesforce is working in the cloud computing. How I can? That's why we are telling it the authorization is going to be happen from our local system to the Salesforce. So that is a simply okay. First, you have to create the project. Like let me show you. So like here you can see like I'm like for create a project what I have to do. So here in the VS Code, okay, I'm just click the control shift key. So there you can see like so many of options to do. So here you can say create a project with manifest and create a project. So here itself you can also see the difference. What is the difference of create project with manifest and create project? Okay, the create project with manifest, with what will happen, the one of the manifest file will get created. Okay, if you use the, so what is the usage of this? If you create project with manifest, you will get the manifest of details of the org. Okay, which means this is a manifest folder. Inside this we are having the package XML. So this package XML is nothing but the metadata of the files. Okay, so here I can use this package XML to retrieve all the data which is mentioned in the types. I can retrieve all the metadata from this org which I get connected. Okay, so that's the usage of project with manifest. I will suggest to create always create project with manifest. Okay, so once I create this, click this one. Okay, like create a project with manifest, it will ask like what kind of project. So if we are doing the standard project, so I'm simply mentioning the standard project, and it is asking me to give any kind of name. So you can say like this is a Salesforce user group. So I'm telling, once I click that enter, it is asking the folder inside, it is asking the create project. So if I click the project, it will create it. So the same way we have created this folder. Okay, and this project is created. Okay, so the authorization. So once the project is created, there is a no org, right? Which org like we are going to use. So for that we are going to authorize it. So for that what we have to do? the same like Control Shift P, it's a shortcut. So here you can see we are having the options of authorize and org. So if you click this one, so this will ask you to, it's a productions or sandbox or it's a custom like the login URL. Okay, so here like you can say I'm using the trailer org, so that's why I will give the productions. Okay, because the trailer org is considered as a production org. Okay, so sandbox, if you do the sandbox, you will mention to the sandbox. Okay, once you click this one, it is asking that the org alias name. Okay, you can give a nourish or you can give it's kind of something your project name and all. Okay, so that will get stored and it will ask you to that. For example, I will tell like test star. So what will happen once I enter in the backend, this Salesforce CLI will get run. Okay, it will get run and it will go to that login.salesforce.com. So here it will ask to enter the credentials like where you have to log in. For example, if I logged in this one, this will ask me to, you are going to be sync, which means you are going to be authorized from VS Code to this org. It will ask, still it is running. Okay, it will ask. So I said allow, it will get, it will get create the authorizations here like this. Okay, so clear. So this is the authorizations. Okay, fine. So now you can say the component bundle. So let's come, because you guys are already seen. Let me check the chat. Some people are posting. Is everything can be included in manifest? Yeah, right. And good Praveen, like this is very actually I'm seeing like more people's are like doing more things, so that's good, Deepak, and good, Praveen, like appreciate it. Okay, so let's see the component bundle. That is also very basic, but we have to see, that is a very must. Okay, the component bundle. So what is a component bundle? First, see, it's a component and another is a bundle. Okay, so we are going, we need a component. Okay, so inside the component we are having a, it's kind of a bundle. That's it, nothing big. Okay, so for example, I am just again I'm going to the like a Control Shift B. Here I am telling I'm going to create a lightning web component. So once I click the lightning web component, here it is asking the desired file name. Okay, so here I'm giving demo user group. Okay, and I'm clicking enter. It is asking the default location. Fine. Okay, enter it. So now it is running. It is running. Okay, the running is finished. Now you can see this is the component is created. So this is a component, means in this component we are having a kind of bundle. Okay, inside the bundle we are having a HTML, we are having a JS, and we are having the meta XML. So what is meta XML? It is nothing. Okay, it is kind of setting. Okay, it is kind of a setting or it is kind of a configuration, you can say. Okay, so this is a configuration, like say if it is comes in the profile, if it comes in the user want the profile, right? The user want the profile, that profile will say to the user who is he or who is she. The same, this configuration meta XML will tell who is this component and what is the usage of this component. Okay, we will see it later. So now see HTML and the JS. Okay, it's automatically showing the template. This is a format we have to write the LWC side, and this is the format of the JS, like it is importing the lightning element, and this is a basic format of the LWC. Now we just created the simple LWC component. So for any doubts, you guys can you log into this two sandbox for different projects at the same time? Yes, we can. Operating but page layout we directly design in our, so how the VS Code will fetch it. Yeah, that's good. I think the conversation going with the big developers, so that's great. Okay, so I think people don't have doubts on so far. So let's move on. Okay, so now this is the component. This is the component bundle. So clear, right? Now let's see the data binding. Okay, what is data binding? Okay, I think I'm seeing a chat. Link for tomorrow sections. Okay, fine. No issue. So now this is a, let's see the data binding. So guys, can anyone from your side, can anyone tell what is data binding? If you guys are already knowing, can anyone from this group?
I like so we design HTML page and we fetch data from Salesforce and we bind like show the user data. We bind the data with HTML elements using JavaScript.
That's great. Any others? Entire coded binding, reflecting the data from JS application. Wow.
The hello.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
To fetch the data dynamically to the UI, we are using the JS file and HTML file. This binding, this is called as a binding, data binding.
Data binding. Okay. So then what is the data? So we are telling the data binding. And what is the data?
Uh, Data means generally in the UI we are able to create the buttons and some features for the UI purpose, right? For feel
Button
good
is a
purpose,
data.
not data.
Hmm.
Yeah, so it is Salesforce object data like contact details.
Yeah.
Uh, okay. Only we can able to bind the Salesforce object data.
And like in this context, like for LWC context, I'm telling.
Okay. Simply guys, data is nothing but values. Okay. We are telling the values to the UI. That is a data binding. Okay. Simple. So value is nothing but what? How we are getting the value? That is another question. So there we can able to get the account information. We can able to get the contact informations. We can able to get the other custom object information. So that is coming another side. So data binding is nothing but we are going to show some kind of value. That value is going to store in the data. So that we are binding it. Okay. So simply we can see. Okay. So now I'm created a demo user group this org. So here I mentioned the simple thing, the variable of speaker name. Speaker name is equal to, I'm just telling I'm the Naresh. Fine. So now you guys will know about this is a variable. Inside the variable, I'm storing the value. Okay, but that variable and value is stored in the JS side. Okay. So now let's open the HTML. Okay. So here I want to see this value. See the speaker name. Who's the speaker name? So I want to see this value. So for that, I'm just telling the who's the today's speaker. Actually, I'm forgetting the spelling. Fine. Who's the today's speaker? So here, who's the today's speaker? Naresh T is the today's speaker. So here, for example, in the tomorrow or next week, the speaker will get changed. Okay. So for that reason, what I'm thinking, it have to be bind the data from the JS side. Maybe in the JS side, I can able to change the value with the help of Salesforce object or anything. Okay. So for that, I want to bind the data from the JavaScript side without doing any kind of hard coded in the HTML side. So for that, what I need to do? So always think like that when you are going to bind the data, you have to utilize the curly braces like this. Okay. What is curly braces like this? Okay. So here I am going to add this variable name and I'm going to put it there. Fine. So now can anyone tell what would be the output? Because still I'm saying I want to be make this section is very interactive. Okay, we are going to see the basics things only. Okay, but if you understand the basics, you are the expert in the LWC. Okay, so now tell like anyone like now what is the expect output here we are receiving.
The value we set in JS file.
Right, the value we set it in the JS side. So that is the data binding. Got it? Simply, nothing big. Okay, that is the maybe future. We have a more data. Okay, we have list of accounts, we have list of data, we have to show it in the UI. But now if you understand the concept, but what are the data is available, it's nothing a issue. Those all the data is storing to in the single variable. Okay, so that variable we have to bind it in the HTML side. Okay, simply. So this is a data binding. So now for this, I'm just making to be interactive. I'm just adding the lightning card. This lightning card is nothing the, it is providing us like a lightning design system. So I will also suggest you people to let me share that as well. Lightning design system, so you guys like have to use so many things because you have to think, no need to think much in the coding side, because Salesforce is provided a component library, so you can utilize a lightning design system. And how can I send it? It's direct message. Everyone in the meeting, I am sending. Okay, thanks, Anand, for sharing the lightning design systems and the component, because everyone have to know this component library as well. Salesforce. Okay, so this is also very important, because if you want to write any kind of code, okay, I want to create a one button, you don't need to think anything about, like no need to mug up like a lightning button hyphen for value label and on event, nothing. You just go to the component library and you can find it like button. So in the component library, it is differentiating the aura and the LWC. So where you want, I wanted the LWC, you just click it. So click it here, you can see that basics of buttons, like how the button, lightning button, variant, label. Here it itself, it's mentioning variable base means it will look like this. Variable is neutral, it is looking like this. If it is a brand, it is looking like this. So the Salesforce is giving to the developers very easily to develop the code. That's why they are maintaining the component library. Okay, it's very simple. I will also share this. Super. Anand, you are great actually. Uh, thank you so much. So now let's come to the here. So for here, like if you are seeing in that component library, if you are seeing in the design system, the lightning card is the inbuilt system, you can say. So that card will help you to show the UI neatly. So that's the reason I'm suggesting. Actually, the spelling mistake is wrong. So let me change it. G hyphen card. Okay, fine. I'm pressing here, and here I'm putting the title of uh, this is demo for user group. Clear? So you guys clear, because you guys have to understand that's our first priority. Okay. There are so many questions will come, but if you know that like what is a fundamental, you can able to answer it to anyone. Okay, so now fine. Okay, now in the data I done. Okay, I created a one HTML. That HTML is holding the lightning code. I'm given the title and I'm given this one. So we are expecting that who's a speaker, today's speaker, Naresh is a today's speaker. We are expecting this one as well. So okay, fine. So now I created. Now I want to see this component in the um, Salesforce site. So can anyone tell like what I need to do now? I have to deploy it. Can anyone? You can unmute yourself and you can tell me. Okay, you guys are telling the chat. Expose. What is mean of expose, Shital? Any
You can
others?
add component. You can add the component in any page. You have to
Any
make
page.
expose. Yes.
Okay, great. We can do it. So for now, that component it is available in my local. I want to deploy it. So for that, what I need to do?
you have to make expose it to true, and you have to make it target as what are the page you want to add, like app page, home page.
Oh, that's great. Actually, that's answer I expected. Yeah, 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 yeah. Go ahead. I think one more people is unmuted and
Before deploying, we have to think for where we are going to show that component.
that's awesome. Okay, before deploying, okay, we have the option to deploy it. If I can able to deploy it, okay. If I deploy it, then like we can't see this component in the Salesforce side. Okay, that's a very important one we have to know. So I already told you this is a kind of a setting, or this is a kind of a configuration that we are calling as a meta XML. So inside the meta XML, what we have to tell where this component would be available. Okay, where we are going to utilize this component. Okay, so for that, if the same like that one people said, like we have to expose it. So for the export, it is already default is a false, so we are making a true simply. Okay, so now we are going to target it, right? If for example I want this component to be in the record page, so what it means, I'm targeting this component to be available in the record page. For that, I'm going to create the targets. Okay, what is targets? So inside this targets, because not only I'm targeting a single thing, I'm going to target so many things. For inside the targets, I'm targeting a single one. So for this, you can see the list of things: app page, home page, record page, utility bar, flow screen. There are much things. That's why I already told you, it comes in this LWC, you will have more questions. Okay, different questions. But now we have to understand the concept, and we have to understand the fundamental. Okay, so now we are going to see like it have to be patient home page, or like I will tell app page, and I'm going to add one more target. This should be also available in the home page. Okay, and I'm going to add a one more target. This should also be available on the record page. Okay, so I'm saving. So if I deployed it now, okay, just right click and deploy it. Simple. Okay, so there are lots of codes as well in the output or terminal from side itself. You can also deploy it. For the user friendly, you can just simply is exposed in as a component builder to drag it up. That's great, Praveen. So right, so now I just simply right click there, deploy it. Okay, so now we can expect this component in the UI set, right? So now I'm going to the basic components or any other. Okay, so here I'm just clicking and I'm clicking the ADP. There are lots of components available, but now what component we are expecting? We are expecting which we created now. That component we are expecting. So what it name? Demo user group. So I'm just typing here. So now you guys can see it. Demo user group. It's there, and I'm just quickly drag and drop here, and I'm saving it. So once it's got saved, I'm going to the backend, and here now you can see demo for user group. So today only I created this component. That component HTML is say the title demo for user group. It is available, and who's the today's speaker? Naresh G. So now this data is coming from where? This data is coming from the JS side. That's why the data binding is there. Got it? Clear so far? Maybe some people already know, few of the people didn't know. If you guys didn't know, like learn it today. Okay, if you guys already know, yeah, you guys also learn it today. Okay, so now this is the data binding. Okay, and conditional rendering and the looping or iteration. Okay, let's see those things. So before that, now you guys understand how to create the component, how to add the data, add the values in the HTML side, and how to add the values in the JavaScript side. Okay, and how to make the meta XML to be the exposed equal to true, and the configuration for the targets. So you have seen so many things. Okay, so now let's see conditional rendering. Okay, so the conditional rendering means what? So rendering means what? Can anyone tell? Because again and again I'm telling, I want to make this section is very interactive. Not only to
Display.
Naresh is like giving the demo or giving the sections. You guys have to just engage with me. So that would be very useful, right? Because some things I don't know. Okay, if you are asking any of one of the tough questions, that time I can say like I don't know. I will come up tomorrow I will get the answer and I will tell you tomorrow. I can also tell. So you can engage with me. It's not an issue, right? Yeah, I think one guy is unmuted. Go ahead. Go ahead. Like what is rendering? And one guy is supposed to say sorry for that.
Like reloading the web page.
Reloading the web page. Okay, fine. Any other?
Displaying the content based on the conditions.
Nice. Displaying the content based upon the conditions. Okay, rendering means it is started to displaying the details. That's great. Okay. Any others? We have 48 people. Okay. I'm getting 42 people. Like Pranav, Rohit, Saiteja, Sanjay. You guys are Sultana.
And one more question, Naresh. How can we use the manifest package.xml while deploying your changes to org?
Why? Sorry.
So my question is, how can we utilize that package.xml while deploying your changes to your org?
Okay. I think we seen it right. See, before like this, if I to be default, I deploy to that org, it will get deployed. Okay. But here in the builder, like if you're seeing in the builder, I can't able to see that component because that expose is false. So the component is not visible here. Okay. So if you guys have worked in the aura component, there also you can see you will implement it. You will implement where that component needs to be available. Okay. The same we are doing configuration for LWC. That's it. Clear? Okay. So now let's see. Do the rendering. Like let's come to the rendering. Okay. So now what is the rendering I want to see it here. Okay. So this is a lightning card and this is the data. Okay. So today what is we have the demo sections on Saturday. So on 9th of April 2022. Um, so here I'm just creating the template to render it. Okay. For the render, I'm just clicking like here you can see if false, if true. So it is telling the simple basics of concept if condition. So in the if condition, I'm telling if true. Okay, if true, you can see the double in the double quotes. But I already told you if you want to bind any kind of data, what you have to do? You have to make this as a open and close curly braces. So now in the binding of data, I can say if this is true or false. Okay. So now I'm going to in the JS side. Okay. I'm just simply going to create a is I will make this big variable is today's session available. Okay. So here default like what I'm telling I'm giving a hard coded value true. Okay. So now this variable is holding the value of true. Okay, I'm mentioning here in this template. Okay, I'm mentioning if it is true, I'm mentioning this variable. This variable is equal to true, then it have to be render it. Okay, so now you guys understand. I'm created a template for rendering, additional rendering. The condition is nothing but if true is equal to of if it is a both is true like this way, true equal to true, inside it will go, otherwise it will not go. So for what I'm going to do, I'm just cut this value and I paste it there. Okay. So now what I'm if in the back end, the JavaScript side, if it is a true only, I can see the who's the today's speaker. Because if section is available only, I can able to see who's the today's speaker. If there is a no sections, I don't want to show this details, right? So for that, I have created a one variable and I have default given as a true, and I have put this conditions and I'm saving and I'm going to deploy this to the org. Okay. Sorry.
Naresh, you mentioned as a true
Sorry.
string
Yeah.
and in JS.
Okay, that's good catch. Okay, I have to mention as a boolean, right? What I have to mention as a boolean. I'm deploying. Okay, so now let's go to this component, and I'm going to back, and I'm going to refresh it. I'm going to refresh it. So once I refresh, so now we can see who's the today's speaker. Today's speaker is a narrative. So now I'm going to here, I'm going to change it to a false. Okay, and I'm going to deploy it. So now what we will expect here, is it visible or not? Can anyone?
Yes, it is visible.
Is it visible?
No.
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 Yes.
Yes
Sorry.
or no? This is interactive, guys. I want this. Like some people is telling yes, some people is telling no. That's good actually. If you are saying no, just understand it. It's not in a like you done the mistake. Okay, it is not like you are telling wrong. Nothing. Maybe you understand correctly, or maybe you are not getting my questions. That's it. Simply okay. So now you guys see it here. That value is not there. Okay. Why? Because we mentioned as a false. This false, this variable is holding the false, and we are doing the conditional rendering. The conditional rendering is telling now how it will be like this. This is expecting the true T or UE, but now it is returning the false. So what will happen? It will not go to the inside, the same as the if condition. So fine. So you guys cleared? Okay. No, that's great, guys. So yeah, same. I think that's very good to know. So now, see, now you guys have the better clarity on the conditional rendering. Fine, 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 fine. Okay. So let's move on to the PPT. So looping or iterations. So okay, what is looping or what is iterations? I think both is same, right? It is right. It is don't have any kind of difference, I guess. So is there any difference, guys? Can anyone?
In iteration, we can know the first item and last item.
Okay, okay, you like deeply involved. Fine.
In iteration, we get an index of element.
Sorry,
In iteration, we have an index like first, last.
it is working as a each element, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Any others for the looping?
Looping is based on the means some conditions.
Okay. In iteration also we can make based upon the some condition as well, right? Or we can't able to do it. Okay. Any others? Yes, for each element iteration. That's great, Amar. Okay. 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 I think Praveen, computer from Discord. That's great, Praveen. That's why I already told you the usage of manifest, like create a project with manifest, because every developer will suggest that only, because we can able to do a bulk operations to retrieve all the things, to deploy all those things. Okay. So I think you guys good in this. So let's say like looping or iterations. Okay. So actually like nowadays like people are like saying like if it's a developer comes in the developer we can able to do many things. Okay. Because Google is there, Edge is there, there are so many sites is there. Okay. If anything you want, you can Google it. Okay. But before Google it, you have to know the concept, right? Because in iteration, I can show a simple iteration, car owner, company owner, okay, and car details or user details simply. Okay. So in the future you will not see like this, you will see like more kind of objects, more kind of details, more parent and relationship. Okay. So for that what you have to do first, you have to understand the simple concept, then you can be able to search it in the Google, right? So for that, like what we can do, you can see like here. I think I already have the so many components I'm having. So let's see like how which one I can use the pulse. Fine. Okay. So now let's go. Let's go here. So see the basic iterations also I can give if you guys are. Okay, then I will create a new component itself, or as we can see it in the demo component itself. Okay, so now we are going to do the looping or iterations. Okay, so for that, like what like what kind of data we have to iterate it? So can anyone? What kind of data we have to iterate it? Why the iteration or looping will come in the picture?
It
Can
may be
anyone?
Boolean,
Sorry,
Boolean,
Boolean.
or yeah.
To do the
See,
same task
I want
again
to
and
do
again.
some kind of iteration or I want to do some kind of looping. What
Yeah,
is the
if you want to do a
usage?
list of subjects.
Okay, only the list of a subject. I'm going to show the list of a subject, or is there any other things? Only list of a subject.
We can show anything like a list of arrays also.
List of arrays. Okay, list of arrays means what I'm going to show. I'm going to show the list of arrays here, like in the UI. Still, I need some kind of better answer from you guys.
We will show the data based on our requirement.
Yeah, that's right one. We are going to show the data based upon the requirement. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead. I don't know the name. Who's telling? But go ahead. Like you are supposed to send something. Okay, fine. So the same, the data, if it is a comes in the iteration, comes in the looping, or if it comes in the anything, the data will comes in the picture. Okay. So I am having a more list. Okay. I'm having a like more customers. Okay. So I want to show all the customers in the UI side. Okay. In the line by line. Okay. In the line by line. For that, what I have to do? For that, I'm having a list of data, but I want to show them as a line by line. For that, what I have to do? I have to iterate it. So for that, I have to use the iteration, or I want to start the looping. From the looping, I can create a div component and have to show the list of details one by one. So for that reason only, this looping and the iteration is coming for. So actually, what I'm thinking to do, like want to write the course. So guys, like maybe for the lightning, let me open that or anyone after the existing one. So here I think this is,
Yeah, hello.
yeah,
Can you make the VS Code screen as white? It's completely in black, right? It's completely looking different. If you don't mind.
sure, Meenakshi, I can. Actually, I'm like this. I like this one.
Yeah, of course.
This
But
color
we are
here.
new, right? That's the reason.
Okay, sure. Light. This is fine. This is fine, Meenakshi.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So now, like, see. I just already created because if I'm writing a codes and I'm writing each and everything, So you guys will like getting bored with this guys writing the codes, and you don't like to write all the codes. Okay, so now let's see, we discussed the looping and the iterations. Okay, so iteration is nothing but we are going to iterate some of the value or some of the data. Okay, for that, what is the options? Okay, what is the options we are going to see here? So here you can see that for each, okay, in the for each you will know the concept before, if you guys have worked the job, or if you guys have worked in the apex, or if you know the basics of for each, we are having the list of details list. Okay, and the list of details we are going to show the one by one. Okay, the same I am doing here. Okay, this is the difference of iteration loop and the for each loop for the LWC. Okay, so for that for each loop I just simply created the template, because when you are going to conditional rendering, you have to use a template. When you are going to the for each loop, you have to use a template, because the template will play role in the HTML side for the LWC side. Okay, so now you can just take an example for this for each. I just created a template. Inside the template, I'm mentioning a for each function I'm going to use. Okay, in the for each, here I mentioned. So what is a core company name? Can anyone tell what is a core company name? This
It's a
one.
collection. Collection.
Okay, it's collections. So what I have done here, I just binded the data, right? The data binding is comes in the picture, right? Before we seen a single name. Okay, like who's a speaker is a Naresh. So now I need to use so many values. Okay, for that also I'm using a single value, which means I use the data binding for the core company name. So now I'm going to the JavaScript. If you are seeing the car company name, that should be in the list format: Ford, Audi, Maruti, Hyundai, Mercedes. I am having so many of cars. Okay, so now I want to see those all the cars in a line by line by line. Okay, so now for that, what I need to do? It's a simple for this concept. Here I've just mentioned this is a list I have to iterate. Okay, and this for item is a keyword, and the for each is a keyword. Okay, you have to mention the same format. Okay, but this is the user defined, and this is the variable. You can say it is also a user defined. You can give any name. You can give any name, but this two is the you can see that is a formatted text. Okay, you have to use this format only. So now I'm telling we have the list. Inside the list, for this for item means what? For item, each item is considered as a company name. Okay, so like actually I showed it that car company name. Maybe I'm like I missed that spelling and all the naming convention. Okay, car company name is a Ford, Audi, Maruti. Fine. So now I want to iterate it. So now in this for item, it will hold the single value, right? It will hold the single item, which means it will hold the single element. So now you guys maybe easily understand what is the for item. So now I've just created a simple div. Okay, I just created a simple div. So inside the div, I mentioned, you guys see what is key, why use this key. So if you are going to iterate it, okay, in the for loop or iteration, you have to must include the key. Okay, so why the key? Because we are iterating so many values. For the so many values, we have to say something as a unique, like ID or like a name or like a roll number, anything. So I have to say something as a unique. So that's why I mentioned as a key. Okay, inside the key, I mentioned as a company name. So because I'm iterating a simple company name. So that's why I mentioned as a company name. Okay, as a unique one. So in this unique one, the company name, I binded the data. I binded the data like this. This is a company name. But if I mention like this way, like a company name, I mentioned like this. So this data is not binded. For I already told you, if you want to bind any kind of data, what you have to do, you have to open and close the curly braces. Inside you have to mention the value. So now we are telling for this specific of 17th line, the company name which means the data is company name. So now what we will expect? We will expect the value of Ford, Audi, Maruti in this line number 17. Okay, so let's see. Let's go to here and let's add this component. Maybe so here what this mean? My first component. So my first component I'm searching. I'm simply drag and drop it here and I'm saving there. Okay, I'm going to back. Okay, so now you guys see it. So HTML, JS, and all. Okay, in the here you can see in the template we are having a 1, 2, 3 lightning card. Fine, but both lightning card it's having a iteration loop for each loop. Now we see in the for each loop. So now you comes to here only that component. Here you can say this is a one lightning card, second, third. The third one for each loop, the title is coming, working fine. And here you can see here there is a no kind of Ford and all. We get the value as a list and we are iterating it. So the same you can see it here for Audi, Maruti, Hyundai, Mercedes, and all. Okay, so this is like a concept you have to understand. It comes in the iterations. Guys, clear?
Sir, could you repeat about what is div key?
So div key is the keyword we are using in the HTML side. Okay, so that div is nothing but if it is a reflect in the UI, okay, it will consider a row. See, it will consider a row. Have you understand it? In this component, you can see it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So how this is considered as a row, that blue color, this blue color. Okay, this blue color is considered a row. That row is iterating like this format 2, 3, 4, 5. Depends upon the collections. So now it will first time it will tell like 4, okay, and second time it will tell like a Maruti. So that's why we are getting like this Ford,
And what
Audi.
if we do not give the key? Will it throw some error or
Yeah,
what?
it will ask you to mention the key, because if you want to do any kind of actions for this specific row, that time what you can able to do, you have to use a query selectors and you have to get the values, right? So for that it will ask you to mention the key. Okay, okay, fine. So now we've seen it here, and let's see like the glance of iteration also the same thing. Iterations here I mentioned the iterator of this car. This car is the, I think, can please mute yourself, Abhi. Okay, fine. So the iteration is also the same thing. Okay, if you understand this one concept, you can connect with so many things. Okay, this is also a simple thing. In the car details, what I have mentioned, the car details I mentioned as a objects. Okay, object, this is not also a object, this is also a array of object. Okay, if you find it here, it is an array of object. So inside the array of object, I'm having a car name, car price, car year. So you can say it is kind of a account information, or it is kind of a custom object. Custom object is nothing a core detail object. So inside the core detail object, I'm creating I have created a 5 records or 3 records. That 3 records, this is a field name and this is a value. This is a field name and this is a value. For 3 records, I'm going to iterate it here. So I'm having the key and the values for those 3 records. So here again I'm coming to the HTML. I'm going to iterate the list of details. Clear? Okay, so in this list of details I'm mentioning the what would be the key. The same way I'm telling the car dot value dot car name, because if it is in the object side, that's why I'm going with the dot of value of car name. Okay, so fine. So now this is considered as a key, and here you can see in the line number 10 the same how I did the data binding. Okay, so now this car dot key value dot car name, what will happen? It will come to here in the object. It will check car, like inside this car details. Okay, why it is as I mentioned as a car, because inside here we mentioned the user defined of this name, how we mentioned the for item, the same we mentioned here in the iterator. Okay, so here I mentioned the car dot value, it will come here, it will come to here, dot value, it will check the value of which value I need it. I needed the car name. So what will check? I need the value of car name. So this is a value and this is a car name. So it will return the BMW. What it will return? It will return the BMW. So that's the data we binded. So let's see it in the UI. So here you can see it. It is binded the BMW and it is binded the Audi. It is binded the Benz. If you're seeing here, the same div is happened. 1, 2, 3. Because we are having a 3 data. That's why it is iterating a 3. If I'm adding an additional one more data, let's see. Let's see this here. If I'm adding a additional data, I'm just copying this one and I'm posting there. Okay. So here I'm adding a car name, Tesla. Here I'm telling it's a 1 crore. 1 crore. Okay, fine. And this is a 2023 upcoming future. Okay. So now I'm going to that fine, fine. I'm going to deploy this source to R. So now you guys just understand the concept. Okay. Like here I have added a one more car details. Okay, before it show the 3. Okay, the iteration. Now you guys will clearly understand the iteration of it. Okay, so now I'm having, before it is having a 3, so it's iteration the 3. Okay, now I'm doing the refresh. Okay, so now you guys see it, Tesla is came, because in the collection it is iterating. If the collection is coming from the JS, maybe in the future the collection is coming from the server side, but the concept is iterations or looping. It is this simple. Okay, clear? When do we use a keyword lightning core template section? So see, lightning card is we already said, if I'm not using the lightning card, it will not come like this way. Okay, it will come like this way. But if I use lightning card, it will come like this way. So it is giving the standard way of you can say it is standard way of component form. Okay, so that's why we have used that lightning card. Okay, so now let's go to the second thing.
Naresh, can you explain the div key line again? Like why we use greater than symbol in that line for rendering?
Greater than symbol. Where?
Yeah, div key.
Here,
Yeah,
this.
company name greater than company name. Yeah, right?
Oh, this greater than. Actually,
Yes.
yeah. So see, this is a basic concept. Okay, this is a basic concept. It is not only in the LWC we are using. This is a basic HTML concept. Like if I'm just simply say W3 schools HTML. So maybe if you are not aware of that divs and all, you just first gone through that HTML, how the HTML, like HTML H1, P1 and body and div. So here like the basic you have to understand it. Okay, it is not kind of greater than symbol on and all. It is kind of UI things. Okay, so let me share that as well. So just learn first the HTML so you will understand the div. Okay, so div is nothing nothing guys. Okay, it is creating the line in the UI, it is creating a row in the UI. That's it. Okay, but if you want to learn more about the div, you go through this W3 schools or any website if you prefer. That is very useful to you. Okay, so let's go to the next. So now we've seen that LWC fundamental. Perfect. Let's go to the different decorators used in a LWC.
Alice, just a quick doubt. So we have used this the for each or iterator on template, right? Can we use it on other tags as well?
Other?
Other tags such as UL, like I mean, we are trying to render each and every item in a separate tag, right? Can you just?
Yeah. You can use it. Actually, I will also use the div. Okay. So yeah, you can use it. I like I most like some of things in the conditional rendering also I used in the div. Okay, but Salesforce is suggesting few of the things, right? We have to follow. So that's why. Okay, got it. Clear.
Sorry, what I meant was like, the for each I mean, I don't know what it's called, the template or like you're using it in the template tag, right? Like, can we use it on like UL tag, for example?
So the UL is what?
UL is for unordered list.
Unordered list. Okay, we are going to show it in the UI side, right?
Yep.
It's depend upon you. See, if it comes in the UI part, there are lots of feature we can able to add it. See, instead of I'm writing code in the HTML, instead of I'm code writing in the HTML, I can also use another HTML, right? Because if comes in the UI,
Like
yeah,
in line 16, you're I mean, it's you're using the for each on the template tag, right? So
yeah.
instead of template, like, can we replace it with the UL tag, and for the div, can we add it as li?
So actually, in that for each and the iterations, like I have not used maybe thanks to in the conditional rendering I used the div and all. Okay, for this for each like I don't think like we can
No,
use it here or not.
no. The
Okay,
thing is, you have to mention the UL before and li in the inside the loop, and you can iterate those things.
So
But the template for
using
each is
it needs to be on the template tag and not on any other tag. Is that what you mean?
in template only you be using it.
Okay. Yeah, that was my question.
okay, Glenn,
Thank you.
fine.
Thank
So now let's say the like a different decorators used in the LWC. Okay, so like the decorators. So what is the decorators? So here in the template, I mentioned the at stack, at wire, at API. Okay, but if you compare those three, there are so many differences. Okay, so before going to that, can anyone tell like what is the decorators? If someone is knows before.
Decorators are mainly used for accessing the public variables as well as private variables and private methods as well as public methods. So we
Oh,
can use.
that's great, Lokesh. Okay, any others?
Decorators specify the things that are followed. Like, we give them some special property.
That's also nice. Any others? Only two people. Okay, fine. So I think Deepak, guys, Deepak Chupla. Do you have any words to say here? Or Praveen? Okay, fine. The same. The decorators. Yeah, I think someone is coming. Yeah, go ahead.
Deepak here.
Yeah, Deepak.
Yeah, decorators are the keyword. Like if you are using test class, we use @test so that our like uh, our like drug
The
means
system
our
will
code
know
will.
it is a test class.
Yeah, so that's
Yeah,
why track and API wire are the decorators here.
we are using in the LWC. Simple. This is the only like way we can say. Okay, so like it is kind of like the keywords we are going to use it at the LWC. Okay, so but we are having a three difference like a track, wire, at API. Okay, so here it's mentioned when to use track, when to use wire, or when to use API. Okay, so now you guys like we can separate it two sides. Okay, one is a private, another one is a public. Okay, so which means it's kind of a property. We are telling her which one is a private property and which one is a public property. Okay, so public property is a API. Okay, is the at API is a public property. So what is a public property? So in the class, if you take an example in the Apex class, okay, or any class, if it is Java, Apex, or both the same. So if you're taking the Apex class, if you are mentioning the public class means on the public method means what will happen? We can able to access that in the from another class, right? Okay, but if it should be in the private, what will happen? We can't be able to access it. The same concept here. If it is a at API is a public, we can able to access this variable or this function in the another component. But if it is a private property, we can able to access inside the component itself. Okay, so now you can see this RTAPI is a like a public property and at track is a private property. So clear? Okay, clear. So at wire, so let's see, this is also a decorators. At wire, so at wire is nothing, guys. It is just connected with the lightning data service. Okay, so let's see like what is lightning data service. So for that, like you guys can easily I can say the lightning data service is we have the one system. Let me open that some paints because I'm bad in the painting, but for the demo purpose I can give no show. Okay, so lightning data service. So lightning data service, first we have the UI system. So this is a UI system. Okay, so now you can say this is the lightning data service. Okay, and this is our server. Okay, so now the lightning data service, the name itself, it is doing the service with the data, which means it is doing the service with the data. Okay, for that, what will happen? I'm requesting some kind of data. For example, I'm requesting who's the speaker name. Now the speaker name is stored in the server. So I'm requesting here, I'm clicking a one button. So what will happen? It will fire it to the LDS. So here it will check what I'm requested. It will check that answer it will be available or not, which means an array should would be available or not. So it will check if it is not available, what will happen? It will go to the, it will hit the server and here Naresh is available. Okay, so Naresh is available. So what will happen? It will return here. Okay, it will hit the server and it will return the value. So now this lightning data service will hold the value of Naresh for that question. Clear? Naresh for that question, and it will return to the UI. Okay, so LDS and the catchy are same. Okay, LDS and the catchy or same. So now I can see the Naresh here. Okay, so now the same is happening next time. Okay, the same is happening in the next time. Let's drag and drop you above. Fine, the same is happening next time. So here what I'm doing, here I'm requesting the same question, who is the speaker on tomorrow maybe. Okay, in the LDS what is happened, it is storing the value in the catchy. Okay, it is storing the value in the cache already the Naresh. Okay, so now this is a server. So here like already storing the values in LWC. So why I want to go to the server? Okay, here straightly it is returning the N to the system. So here this, I think one guy asked like what is the performance for this LWC. So now in this we are not hitting the server. Here we are using the performance increased. Okay, the performance has got increased like with the help of here itself. It is not hitting the server. Okay, because it is already there. The Naresh is already pressed. It is already in the lighting service. Okay, so that's why it is returning to the UI. Okay, this is the concept we are going to see in the at wire. Okay, the at wire will be working as in the lightning data service. Maybe some of the data will get cached and it will be stored in the LDS. And if it is the data is not changed in the backend, it would be show it in the UI correctly. If it is something is get updated in the backend, this service, these all the decorators are the reactive. Reactive means what will happen? It will get updated. It will get updated and it will show the updated value to the UI. Okay, clear? Fine. Great, Amar. Great, Ramesh. Naresh, are you going to share these components after the class? Of course, yeah. If you want, I can share it. But like I can able to share it, and you will also cut the sections. Okay, but you can try it from your side, Ramesh. Okay, whatever you can try it from your side. Then only you will understand what Naresh is told. Maybe that time you will forget it, right? So that time you can able to Google it. Do more Google and learn more there. Okay, and you will Google it and you will learn it. So now, yeah, Yashin, tell me.
Please explain again about detectors.
So your voice is not clear, Yashin.
Hello, are you audible?
Yeah.
Yes. Please explain again for the decorators.
Mm-hmm.
Can you explain again
Okay,
about
you want to explain it
decorators?
again. Okay,
Yeah.
fine. Yeah, yeah, I will.
Okay.
Okay, guys. So decorators. So again, it's simply Yashin. Okay, nothing is big. Let me go to that here. Okay. So first think as a property. Okay, not the decorators. So we have having the private property. Oh, sorry, private property, property, and the public property. So I already told you, you guys is understand the private property usage and the public property usage. So the private property is nothing but a at chat. Okay, the public properties is nothing but the at API. So if it is a RT API, I can able to access from my another component, which means I can able to access from the parent component. But it at track means it's kind of a private variable. It would be available inside the component itself. Okay, so the decorators is means it is kind of a properties. Okay, that's it. No need to think much. It is kind of a properties. So now we are seeing what is the usage of these properties. That's it. Okay, so now the wire is coming from. Okay, so that wire, so in the wire, you can say it is a very like useful and very powerful in the LWC. Okay, in the wire you can able to fetch the data from the server. Okay, and like you can use like Apex classes, and you can um, you can use so many of standard input modules in the wire. If you're going so much of advanced, you can see so many things in the wire. But now, so you just simple concept, understand it, which I shown it in the like a paint. Okay, so the wire. So what is a wire? What the wire will do? Wire in the name itself. Wire means what? It will give some connections, right? So it is giving to connections from the server side to the client side. Simple. Okay, so that is working based upon the LDS. So I told you what is LDS. So LDS is also like as a cache. It will store it in the what kind of center. Okay, so if we are requesting from the client side, it will check in this LDS is already storing the value. If it is not storing the value, it will go to the server side and it will fetch the detail. And after it would this detail, which means this nourish would be available, and the UI will see the nourish. Okay. So the second time I'm doing the same action. That time this wire will not go to the server side because it is already stored in the Lightning design system, which means Lightning data service side. Sorry, no, it's not a design system, Lightning data service side. So that's the wire. Wire means it's connected to the our client side to the server side. Okay, clear?
Yes, Mahesh. It's
Great.
not clear.
That's great.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
nice. Before going into the details, we can have a break right now and we can reconnect by 11:30. It's already 11:15.
Yeah, yeah, I'm sure. Anand, actually, we have heard that decorators from the night. So then we'll go with that access of Salesforce data or on the next things.
Yes, okay. We can have
Okay.
a 15 minutes of break, guys, and we can meet at 11:30.
So hi Anand, hi team.
Yeah. Can you start now?
Yeah. Okay, fine. So yeah, guys. Before the break, we have seen the LWC fundamentals and inside the LWC fundamentals, we seen that projects, data binding, concerning looping or iterations, and decorators of a tag, or of API, and what is a private property and what is a public properties and all. Okay, so now let's we see the components, because if you're if you're creating a more component, so maybe the component will have the relationship, right? Like I can able to call a yeah, one child component inside the parent component, so that we can see like the scenario, how it will comes, or how to communicate the data between the child to parent and parent to child and all. So we will see it now. Okay, so you just simply think we are creating a more components, more LWC components. Okay, some components is having the relationship. Uh, okay, so what is relationship? Okay, the relationship is nothing but I'm created a one simple component like this. If you're seeing here, okay, if you're seeing here, I just simply one created a one lightning component. Okay, so inside the lightning component, I want to utilize the another component. Okay, which means another component that is also a separate component. Okay, so in this case, what will happen if you are using any one of the component inside the HTML markup, so that component should be the parent. Okay, because you are calling the child inside the parent. So now you know like how we are going to call the child component. Okay, so the scenario, like you can say, yeah, so I want to show the accounts details. Okay, so I want to show the account details. So in the form, first it is showing the account details. Okay, so there we have the option to click show the contact. Okay, so that time I'm just clicking a one button. So that time what it have to do, it have to show the contacts, list of contacts. So in this case, before it is showing the accounts, now once I click that contact button, it is showing the contact details. So now what will happen here? I created a separate component. One is for contact list, another one is for account list. Okay, from the account list, I'm calling the contact list. Okay, it is working in the single component without kind of any rendering, without kind of any refresh the page. I'm just clicking a button, it is automatically fetch the details of contact and it is show it in the UI. Okay, so for that reason I'm using the child component. Okay, clear? So you guys have any doubts? So clear? Good to go. So Sridhar, like we can see something more about those kind of questions in the end of the sections. Okay, so like do you have any kind of questions like which I have told so far? Okay, I think no, not from your side. Fine. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, so I'm going to create a two components. One is a parent component, another one is a child component. Okay, so here you can see like here I am already having the one component as a LWC parent A. Okay, and I'm going to create a one child component as well. So for that, what I have to do, I'm gonna actually this screen is okay. So for that, what I need to do now, I need to create a one child component. So for that child component that I already created, I guess. Yeah. So child component demo. So here you can see the child component demo. So here I have not done nothing. Okay, I just inside the template, I created a lightning cord. I given the title as a child component. Okay, and here I just given a simple text. This is a child component. Inside there, I just created a div. So I'm showing the one kind of message. Okay, that message details are now. So here, let's see, this is a child. So what is a parent? LWC parent A is a parent component. So inside the parent component, what I have done, I just created lightning cord for the UI perspective. Here I mentioned the parent component. Okay, so and I mentioned the simple text in the line number 3. Okay, fine. So now after the line number 3, here you can see that I call the child component. Okay, but you can see the naming convention is different. Okay, so why the naming convention is different? Okay, so let's see. If you want to call any child component in the parent, okay, you have to use the kebab case. Okay, what kebab case? Kebab case is nothing but whenever you are having the caps letter, that time it need to change as a small, and before that character you have to make the hyphen. Okay, so now let's see what is the actual child component name. This is a child, like let's open like C. This C is, you have to mention that C is referencing of the component of child and component and demo. Okay, so fine. So now let's don't close it. So fine. So now child, component, and demo. But this LWC will not support because it will support only for the kebab case. Okay, if you are going to call the child component. So what is what we need to do? We need to change the caps letter to a small letter. So once you change the small letter, before you have to add the hyphen. Okay. So now you can see it here, like this hyphen is changed, right? Got it or not? Can anyone?
Can you reply it?
Okay, fine. Actually, I will show this component name itself. Okay, so here what component we call? We component the LWC child component. Okay, so here this is a LWC child component. Here I'm clicking that and I'm renaming. I'm getting the actual value, actual component name. Okay, so now again I'm coming to the parent component. So you can see it. This is the actual component name of child. But why have done like this? For this is a format we have to follow. Okay, this is the format we have to follow for calling the child component from the parent. Okay, so here how I have written. So I open the tag. So inside the tag I'm telling this is a component. That's why I mentioned a C and hyphen. So the same LWC is a small, so I don't have any issue. Okay, but you can see this child, this C is a caps. So if it is a C in the kebab case, what you have to do, you have to make it as a small and you have to make it as a hyphen before that character. Okay, so again I'm going here and I'm saying this is a one more caps letter. So if one more caps letter, what I need to do, I need to put a hyphen and I need to change to small. Okay, so now you can see both the same, right? Both the same. So this is the way of format to write the child component. Okay, so that's why we followed here. Fine. So now LWC child component we are calling. So it is calling the LWC child component. Okay, so in this I'm going to the LWC child component. Here I'm just created a lightning component, lightning card, and here I just maintain a simple name and I mentioned the message and all. So fine. So now let's find it. One is a parent A and another one is a child component. So now I created a component. Now what I have to test it? Now what I need to do? Can anyone tell? Can anyone please? Deepa.
Deploy parent component.
Parent component. Yeah, I'm in the parent component only now. So I created a parent and a child component. Okay, so now I created two components. So I'm using child component in the parent component. So now what I need to do? If this component have to be available in the Salesforce, now what I need to do? What is my next procedure?
We have to put some targets.
Targets, right? Okay, we have to tell the component configurations, right? So now, okay, so targets. So in the targets, I have to mention two components, right? Or single component.
We have a single component only.
Why single component?
Because we are passing the data from parent to child, right? So we have to put it in the target of single component only.
So I have to put it in the child.
No, on parent.
Parent only.
Why parent?
Because the parent only we can send the data, right? So if we enter any text, means we have to see them in the parent, right?
No, if I in the child also, if I enter the data, that will also be received in the parent.
In that way, we have to follow some different process, right? So we have to put it in the parent only.
Okay, clear. So I will let me tell you. See, here we are saying a parent and we are saying a child. So you just take an example in a Salesforce master detail relationship. Okay, so master and the detail relationship. What are the securities comes in the master side? Is all the securities going to be applied in the child? So the child will be the each and everything, every function will control by the master. Okay, the same way inside the component also, if it is the parent and the child. So if you mention the parent for the configuration, this would be available in any of the targets. So this will applicable to the child itself. Okay, the settings is going to be applied to the child. That's it. So now you can see the meta XML. I change it to true, and I'm telling those are the two targets I'm going to apply. Okay, but if you're checking here, this is the child component. Here I made a false. But let's see in the UI, and we'll tell how it is working at all. Let me see parent. Fine. Okay, so here I think I'm going to add it. Okay, fine. Here, what is the component name? What is the parent name? Parent component name? LWC parent A. So LWC parent A. LWC. I think I don't know where I am. Okay, I think I'm here. Fine. Okay, so here parent component, child component. Fine. So I can see it here itself. I got little confused because of the two orgs. Okay, now I got it. But I have to show it. Perfect. Not this one, this one. Okay, so now you guys can see it here. LWC parent A, it is having the parent component title. It is having a parent component title, and it is having the text. This is a parent component. The same text is available. This is a one. Okay, so now you guys can see I am having inside this lightning card, inside this component, I am having the child component. Okay, so child component is nothing. Here you can see I call this child component. So this child component, okay. So this child component will show this UI. So let's go to the child LWC child component. I'm going to the LWC child component in the HTML. In the HTML, the child component is a title that is showing here, and it is showing the simple text. This is child component 1 2 3 4 5 6. It is showing the same, and it is showing the some kind of messages and all. It is showing the some kind of messages and all. Clear? So you guys have any doubt on this? How to call the child component from the parent? So now the child component is also visible, the UI, but we have not done any kind of configuration in the package XML, but it's visible, right?
Yeah, clear.
Clear. Pakka. Okay. So now this is a simple concept, guys. Okay, but in the future maybe you can see more things. But it's a simple concept, parent and the child. That's it. Okay. So now let's come to here. Okay. So I will give you some. I want to give some kind of good example. So I written so many codes. So okay. So now let's find. So now you've seen that the simple basics of the parent to the child. Okay, so now let's see the child to parent. Okay, so in the child means like we already know, like we can able to use the child component in the parent side. Okay, so that is the only possible way we can able to do. But if you're sending any kind of data, we can do vice versa. Okay, so that is fine. So now this is a very important one. In the aura will comes in the picture. Okay, so in lightning component we have two things. One is the aura, another one is the LWC. Okay, so most of the interviewer or any of the company will ask this interview question. You just consider it. Okay, can we call LWC component inside the aura? Can anyone tell?
Yes, it is possible.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, who's saying no? Can you please tell who's saying no?
I am saying Deepak.
Who's Deepak? You are saying no.
Yeah, like it can coexist on a page, but it cannot be under Aura component.
You are telling, see, first understand my question. I am having a one aura component, I am having one LWC component. Okay, so I want to call LWC component inside the aura component. Okay, so you are telling no, right?
Yeah, means the data can be exchanged, but the whole component cannot be.
Like we are not having import functionality in Aura components, but we are having import functionality in LWC, right? So we can import Aura components in LWC, but not in Aura components.
Okay, I think okay, fine. So the thing is we can able to use the LWC component inside the aura. Okay, but we can't use the aura component inside the LWC component. Okay, so that is very important one, I think. So now also I'm saying most of the people is telling the wrong answer. So you have to learn it, you have to consider it. Okay, because if you are giving any kind of interview, not only the interview, if you are working in the client side, so this is very important one you have to say. Okay, we can able to utilize the LWC component inside the aura component. Okay, but inside the LWC component we can't use the aura component. Clear guys? So I think before some of people said yeah, yes, so they understand correctly. So if you guys understand it wrongly, just understand it. Okay, we can able to call the LWC component inside the aura component. Okay, fine. So let's say it again, Navid. Okay, fine. Let me, before saying, let me show it. Okay, so just think aura. Okay, and I'm closing the aura like this. Fine. Now, so this is a LWC. Here I'm closing the LWC. You just think like that. This is a two different this is aura component. This is LWC. Okay, so in this inside the aura, I can call the LWC. Okay, but inside the LWC, I can't able to call the aura. So this is a very I think this is a very neat example I can say. So this we can't, not possible. This is possible. This is very important, guys. Okay, you have to learn it. Very important, this one. So I think now you will understand, whomever. So I'm having a confidence. Fine. So let's go. So this is also important one. That's why I was supposed to combine. So I done it. So now, so see the like now let's see that we seen the decorators. Inside the decorator we seen the private property and the public property. Okay, so now let's see how that property is going to be used. Okay, to the communication side. Okay, so now I want to make the communications from the parent to child and the child to parent. Okay, so now let's see. So here 1 minute, I'm just checking which component it is. current component. Okay. Okay, fine. So now you guys can see it. I created a C2P parent component. Just ignore the name. I created a one component. Okay. So inside the component, I given the lightning card. So you guys now will understand what is lightning card. So here I mentioned the child to parent communications. Okay. So here I created a lightning card. I created a one div. So here I created a one lightning button. Okay. So inside the lightning button, okay, inside the lightning button, what I'm telling, button should be a variant, is a brand, and label is a show model, and I'm clicking the on click. So the on click is nothing but it is kind of an event. I think you guys very well know it's kind of an event. Whenever I'm clicking any of the button, so that is an on click. So that time it is considered as a Naresh is clicking the button. So you have to do some kind of actions. So what action I have to do? That's why I mentioned the function name it here. So whenever the on click is happening, this is calling this function. This function will be stored in the JS side. So once this function is get called, so here what I'm telling, this dot is model visible equal to true. Okay, so here I created a like a local variable is model visible equal to false as a default, which we already seen before about that true false conditional rendering. So the same here I created a is model visible is equal to false as a default. Okay, so now whenever I'm clicking the show model, okay, what is happening in the function, it is changing to true. What it is changing to the true. So once it is true, now let's come to a here, this conditional rendering is, if it is a true only, I can able to see the child component. Clear guys? Clear now?
Yeah.
Great. So now whenever I'm clicking that button, that time only I can able to see the child component. So here like what is the child component? C2B child component. So once I click that button, this child component will come. Here I'm going to the HTML. So here you can see in the template, I just created a simple section. Okay. So this section is telling, don't think like lots of codes. It's just like copy pasted from the lighting design system only. Okay. It is simple, yeah, one kind of model. Okay. It is simple, yeah, model. So you just Google it. Okay. So like guys, like you have more questions, more doubt also. Like you just the same doubt you are typing the chat or same doubt you never mind. Just Google it. So here I want the model for LWC. So what is happening? See, I'm getting the models in the lightning design system. So if I'm opened here, this is the model is telling, see, models. Oh, this is what I am expecting, but I want the code. If I'm scroll down here, I can see like so many of model, different model and different functionality. Here it is mentioned the code. Okay. So the same code I just copied simply, nothing much. Okay. So inside the code, telling, I'm just telling for this code, like it have to open the model. That's it. That will come to the CSS part. So you guys don't think much. Okay. And I have added a one on click function, one button for the close model. Okay. So whenever I'm closing that one, it have to close the model, right? So that's the reason I added here. So now let's see. Let's go to the UI. Yeah. Okay. So now in the UI, you can see this is a component child to parent communications. So the communication, just ignore the title. I will tell you each and everything. So now this is one component. Now whenever I'm clicking on this button, show model, it is opening a one model. What? It is opening the one model. And what it's telling? It is telling successfully open the model. So this successfully opened the model. If you comes here, I cast copy pasted. This data is available in where? My child component. So once I click the button, it is opening the child component. So if you go to the parent, here, when the child component will open, if true equal to this is model visible. So is model visible, first time is false. So it will not show the child component. Okay. So if I'm closing okay, it will not show the child component. But when it will show, whenever I'm doing the on click, click handle, so it will go to the function and it will change it to true. So that time what will happen? Now this inside this will change to true. So once it is equal to true, this line number 6 will be available. So the 6 is nothing but the child component. The child component is nothing but this section model. Clear? I think it's a good explanations, I guess. So guys, clear? Okay, I will consider as clear. Yes, that's great, Amar. Great. So now we seen it here, guys. Like if you guys already know, it is a simple. Okay, if you guys didn't know, it is very tough. Okay, this is the concept you have to must as learn in the LWC. Okay, so now I think hope you everyone is understand it because I'm going very slow, so I will know. But the thing is, you have to understand. That's my priority. Okay. So now, whenever I'm clicking, the child component is calling. Okay, but you guys have understand it. So okay, it is telling. Okay, this visible model inside the parent, this template line number 5, it will make false or true, then only the child component will happen. But if I'm clicking OK here, it is gone. But still I can see the parent component. But here what is happening then? Then if I'm clicking a OK, before it is a true, that's why the child components appear, and after it is changed to the false. Whenever I'm clicking OK, so here you have to think, okay, how this is happening, because everything is mentioned Naresh in the parent component, but he's clicking in the OK the child component, but the parent component, this variable is making a false. How? That's called a communication. What? That's called a communications. So that communications, what we are doing here, we have a two kind of communications. Here you can say three kind of communications, but today we are going to see two kind of communications: parent to child and child to parent. Okay, but every people are like they will start from the parent to child communications, but I will start as a child to parent communications. Once you understand clearly the child to parent communications, you can understand anything in the LWC. Okay, so now whenever I'm clicking a OK, this parent component of this variable is get updated. Okay, so now let's see how it is happening. Okay, let's come to the HTML part. So inside the HTML part, in the line number 19, just guys see it, in the line number 19, I'm having a one button. Okay, the button value is what? Okay, so whenever I'm clicking this model, this OK button is line number 19. Okay, so in the line number 19, what I'm doing on click, whenever I'm clicking this OK button, I'm calling this close model function. This close model function, where it is be available? Can anyone?
On JSI.
JSI. Great. Yes. So this is available in the JSI. I'm going to the JS. I'm searching. Yeah, this is available. Okay, but now here we don't have any variable at all. It is something written. You just don't need to consider. Here we don't have any variable, but in parent component, how it is making as a false. That's the thing. That's the communication I already told you. So now the communication, how we are doing? We are creating the custom event. Okay, what we are doing? We are creating the custom event, and we are like if we can send the data or we can dispatch it. Okay, so we are sending some kind of communications from the child to parent. So here I have created the custom event. So for the custom event, this is the format you have to, this is the keyword you have to write like this. This is a user defined. Okay, just new and custom event. So here the custom event name, fine. So for this is now I'm storing this event in the const variable of my event. So now I'm going to dispatch it, which means how you can say, yeah, just take an example of ball. Okay, we have a one ball. Okay, so like you can say, I'm one of the friend and I am having one more friend. Okay, he's from the opposite side. Okay, he's elder than me. Okay, so now I'm having the ball. Okay, now I'm having the ball. I want to give that ball to my another friend, because that ball, I want to give it the ball again to the my friend. Okay, so in this case, what I need to do, I need to throw the ball, right? I need to throw the ball. So for that, the same, you just consider the example here. Whenever I'm clicking the OK, that parent component have to know, like, okay, child component is saying, like, a child component is going to close this model. Okay, so what is doing is just throwing the details. It is just throwing the data, or it is just throwing the details. Okay, whatever, we can add more data as well. So now in this case, I'm just throwing the ball. Okay, as a event. Okay, as a event. So now the ball is thrown, fine. But in the, my friend have to receive the ball, right? He have to catch the ball. So what you have to do, you have to catch the ball. So for that, I sent an event from the child. Here I am going to receive that ball. Okay, which means I'm going to receive the event. So that's very powerful. Okay, so for that, wherever I call the child component, here I need to mention what kind of event I'm going to receive. So the event name is close. But here you can ask, Naresh, the event name is close, but why you have added a on? Okay, so whenever the event you are mentioning to catch, you have to add on before the event name. So here, what is the event name? Event name is a close. That's why I mentioned here on close. Okay, and while you are mentioning the event name in the JavaScript, no need to mention on. Okay, no need to mention on. Mention the normal value, and in the on you have to mention in the parent side wherever you call the child component, like on close equal to even close model. So now the even close model, you guys very well know, this even close model is a function I'm calling the JavaScript. Okay, so now let's see carefully. Ball is thrown and I'm captured the ball in the line number 6 as an event. Okay, and here I'm calling the function. I'm going to the JavaScript in the parent side. Here that function is also there. Here what is happening? Here I'm telling this dot is model visible equal to false. Before it is a true, whenever I'm clicking a OK, it is telling as a false. That's great. So now understand. So what is happening? Let's see, go to the here, child to parent communications. This is a parent component. I'm clicking the show model. It is calling the child component. Fine. In the child component, I'm saying I want to close or I want to OK this component. I'm clicking the OK. Once I click the OK, what is happening? From the child component, I'm sending the custom event, and in the parent component, I am receiving the custom event, and in the parent component, I'm calling the function and I'm telling to this should be false. Clear? Clear, guys? Okay, I will consider as a yes. Okay, because the ground is more. Actually, I just went very slow because you guys have to understand this concept very well. You no need to write more codes. The concept is required. Okay, if you understand the concept in the real time, there are lots of scenario will come. But if you are well in the concept, you can develop any component. Okay, so now I hope like everyone is understand this concept. Clear? So this is a way of child to parent communications. Okay, perfect. So now let's see parent to child communications. So already like we seen like child to parent, like with the help of custom event. Okay, if anyone is asking like how to communicate from child to parent, you can simply say I can use custom event and send the data to the parent, and that I can be received with the help of event. Okay, from the event I can able to call the JavaScript. So there, if I added any kind of data, I can use the event dot data of value or any kind of names, and I will utilize that. Or if I'm not using anything, then I will write the code based upon that. But I know the concept. Okay, that's very important, guys. Okay, Amar. Okay, Navi. Thank you. Thanks for your reply. So okay. So now let's see parent to the child communications. So for that, mm, so what I think I am having that component as well. If I don't have, then I can create a new, no issues. Okay, so fine. Okay, so this is we already seen the parent to child, which we already created. Okay, fine. So now let's go there. Okay, so now we already seen parent A. This is a parent. I call the child. So here I have done something like this. You can ask, what is Naresh? You just called the child component, but you have added the message and this one. So now let's see here. I am going to do the parent to child communications. Okay, parent to child communication, which means the communication is what they are going to send some kind of data. That's a communication. Okay, so here I'm going to send some kind of data from the parent to child. Okay, so now what is this, guys? What is this message that I specifically mentioned here now? What is this? Can anyone tell what is this?
We are passing the data from JS.
That's great, which we seen it first from class start itself. We just binded the data, right or no? Yes or no? I think
Yeah.
you can also mention in the chat, guys, if you're not unmuting yourself. Yes, because why I'm asking, you have to understand it, because this section is for you. You guys, you have to understand. Okay, that's the reason. So now we binded the data, so you guys understand clearly. Okay, so now let's see this message. I'm going this message in the JS. I'm telling the value is coming from parent. I'm just added a simple value, the line number 6. I'm storing it in the message variable. Okay. So in the HTML, I'm telling this value. So this value is nothing but the like this. Copy HTML like this. This message is holding. Okay. Now it is added in the child, and you can see it is added in the first tag itself. Okay, this is a closing tag, this is a closing tag, and this is a opening tag. In the opening tag itself, I mentioned the one property name and the value of binded in the JS. So this property, what is this property? Why it is message? Why is named as a message? So now I'm going to send the data to the child. So I already told you. I think someone is asked in the group. So now I will tell you what is the use of API. So now in the API LWC child component, let's go to the LWC child component. I'm going to the JS. Here you can see I mentioned the API variable, which means API decorators. You can say API property and all. So here I mentioned the message. So now what I'm trying to do, I'm accessing this API as a public property from my parent, and for this variable, I'm assigning the value of this message. This message means the value is coming from parent. Okay, I'm just sending the data for this at API message value. If it is in the at track, we can't able to send. If it is at API only, we can able to send. Okay, guys, clear? So now let's see it in the UI. Go to the UI. Yeah. So this is a parent component. I'm in the parent component. Okay, this is a parent component. Fine. Here in the I'm calling the child component. So I'm going to the child component HTML. Child component is fine. Child component is fine. Okay, and this is, and here you can see that message is not coming. Okay, actually that's the reason I have created that. Maybe I'm having some kind of catchy issues on that. Communications. Or else maybe Okay, I think you just this component. I guess you have to. I think I am created two component for the demo purpose. Maybe I will remove this one, so you guys will understand it. Delete it. Okay, so okay, back it to that. Okay, so the parent component is coming. This is a parent component. Okay, fine. And the child component. This is a child component title. That is also working fine. And inside the child component, what I have mentioned. This is child component 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so this is the child component. Okay, I think I'm referring the wrong component. Maybe let me check it again. Which component I'm going to refer? Parent component demo.
Yeah, it's there in the
Yeah,
center.
yeah, yeah. It is a parent component demo.
No, it's
Sorry.
there. It's there in the page. Go to the page. It's there in the center, no? That center component. The center is there in
No,
center.
this is a aura component actually. That I think I got it here. Okay, so now this is a parent component, and I call the child component, and I'm sending this message parameter. So what is the child component? Child component demo. So I'm going to the child component demo inside the HTML. I'm seeing the child component. Okay, yeah. So I'm seeing the child component. Fine, and this is the child component. Okay, and I'm seeing this is a child component. That is also fine. In the message, you can see this message variable which I get binded. So what is telling value coming from the parent, the value coming from the parent. So how the value is coming, this is called from the parent component demo. So I'm going HTML, this message, what this message is in the JS is holding value coming from parent. So here for the testing purpose, I'm just adding Naresh hyphen Deepak hyphen Anand. Okay, I'm just adding like this value for an just um, your confirmations. Okay, so now I'm just going to refresh it. Oh, okay, now let's save the where I have to save it. Let me see parent. Yeah, maybe some catchy issues. So now you guys see it in the message. I have updated the parent components as a JS as a message variable Naresh hyphen Deepak hyphen honor. Okay, now this is working fine. So this is the communications of parent child. Okay, so you guys clear it. Oh, I think API property. Yeah, Praveen, what API property you are telling? Yeah, that API property we are using in the child side because that is a public property for see. So I told you right before. So before I just said it in theoretically. Okay, but now you can see it in the live. So now that API property I have created in the child API message. Okay, but I can able to access in my parent component of this message. Okay, clear? So that's a purpose. Yeah, Praveen, that's right. Thank you. So that's the reason we are utilizing. Okay, clear, guys. So now we have seen the communication between Lightning Web Component, communicate from parent to child, communicate from child to parent, and communicate between unrelated parent. Here we seen parent to child and child to parent. Now we are going to see unrelated component. Okay, so for the unrelated component, um, 1 minute. So this is an example. Actually, I just written it here, but I want to show it in the live the code. I don't want to show the codes only. Okay, I want to share something like this, and you guys have to understand it. Okay, so that's why I written. So this and this is done. Okay, and we have to see this one, which means unrelated component. Okay, we are having the option to this one. Okay, so before that, you guys have understand parent to child and child to parent, right? You don't have any doubts on that. maybe in your mind, maybe you can think like more things. If you have more experience on that Salesforce, you can think like more datas and all. Okay, but this is the concept. Okay, this is the concept in the LWC. This concept will work for any kind of data. If you understand the concept, you can build it. Okay, clear. So 1 minute, guys. Okay, so now let's go to the unrelated component. You can say this is a like if you guys have very basic knowledge, this is quite advanced. Okay, but I will try to make you understand easily. Okay, so unrelated components mean what? Let's go to back again. Don't say, and I can open the paint. Okay, so here unrelated mean components mean what? So first, what we have seen, component, parent component and the child component. This is a two component. Okay, so we seen the parent to child communication, and the same we are having a same thing. This is we seen child to parent communications. So now you guys can see this and this is having the relationship because this line is there at least, right? But what is unrelated component? I'm having a component A and a component B, but here I don't have any connections. So here I don't have the any connection. So this is called unrelated component because you don't have any kind of communications. For that, how we are going to send the data, how we are going to receive the data. Okay, we can see it now. So you guys clear understand what is the unrelated component? Because we can change parent to child communication, child to parent communications. If we have the relationship, we can do anything. But if we don't have any kind of relationship, how we can send the data, how we can receive the data. So clear? Okay, let's see. Let's go there. Okay, so here in the Salesforce, okay, in the Salesforce before people are using the pub/sub model. Okay, what is pub/sub model? So here I'm just giving a small brief only because you can go with the LMS Lightning Message Service because if in the future the interview side everything will ask the LMS. Okay, so before people have used the pub/sub model. So pub/sub model is kind of just a component. Okay, in the inside the component, we can create. We just use the utilizing the JavaScript. You know, static variables, and in the static variables we can use the JavaScript. All right. The same. It is a kind of a component. You can say service component. We can utilize in the pub/sub model. But nowadays people are using LMS. So in what is LMS? LMS nothing but Lightning Message Service. In the name itself, you can understand. It is doing a service of some kind of messages. Okay, it is doing the service kind of messages. You can say messages is not like as a data, okay, something like that. But the concept is different. Okay, so let's see the concept. Fine. So now you can see window or document and element. If you are seeing like this, you will get confused. Okay. So let me tell you the example from here itself. I think new. Do not say. Okay. So now let's see what is LMS, Lightning Message Service. So I already told you I'm having a two component like this. Okay, but we don't have any kind of relationship. So before start, guys, are you with me? And anyone?
Yeah.
Yeah. Clear, right? Guys don't have any kind of sleep or anything boring, right? It's going interest. Nah,
Yes, Naresh.
that's great. That's great. That's great to know. Okay, so let's see. This is a component A. This is a component B. Okay, but it don't have any kind of relationship. Okay, so now I think let's see the chats. Yes, yes. Thanks, Christina, Lokesh, Deepak, and Amar. Okay, so now LMS. This is coming to the picture. Okay, the LMS. Okay, you just think it is a kind of a one kind of storage base. That will very useful. Okay, so now I want to communicate from the A to B or B to B. Okay, for example, I'm going to send a one value like which we see in the parent and communication as a message. I'm going to send a component A. Okay, component A something like that. I want to send it to the B, but I don't have any kind of relationship. So now we are going to use the LMS. So for the LMS, how we are going to create the LMS? Let's go there. Okay, so for the LMS, if you guys see it in the VS Code, you guys can see application, aura, classes, flexi pages, layouts, LWC, and all. So here, if you're going to create a lightning message channel, here you have to create the message channels. What you have to do? You have to create the message channels. Okay, so you have to create the folder. You have to create the folder like this, and you have to name it as a message channel. So inside this message channels, I created the one channel. Okay, the channel name, this should be the user defined. That's why I copied the rename. The channel name, this should be the user defined sample message channel. This should be the user defined. You can give any name like this, any name. After the dot, this message channel hyphen metas is the keyword you have to use. Like how you are telling, for hello world dot html. This html is the basic, and the same for hello world dot js. The same for hello dot css. Okay, the same way it have to be message channel hyphen metas. Is message channel is a LWC component? No, no. That's why I told you I'm going to create that in the separate folder. That PubSub is a lightning component, but LMS is not a lightning component. Clear, Deepak?
Yeah, thank you, Naresh.
Okay, Deepak. Great. So now this name should be like this. So that's why I created the sample message channel. Okay, and this is the like kind of data we have to follow. Maybe like before it should be uh, like this. Okay, like this is the exposed which we seen the before in the XML meta XML file. We have to make this exposed to true, then only this lightning channel would be available. Okay, so I'm telling this should be true. And if you are seeing here, this is the lightning message fields. Okay, this is the lightning message fields. I'm just putting in the comment. What is the use of LMS? Amar, I think you are with me, I guess. So the use of LMS is, that's why I'm trying to say here. If we don't have any kind of relationship between the component A and the component B, that time if I want to send some kind of data from component A to component B, so in this case, we can use the LMS. That LMS will help you to send the data between, which means it will create the communications between component A and a component B without kind of relationship. Okay, Amar. Yes. Okay. Got it. So now this is a lightning message field. You just consider it is an object. Inside the object, I'm going to create a field. So you are going to create a field. That field is a lightning message field. This is a format you have to follow. So here description you can give what this field will going to hold the value, and this is a field name. Okay, so this is a field name. I created a 3 field. One is LMS data and the record ID and the record data. Okay, so this field will store the value. So how we are going to store the value? I will tell. It's very interesting. Okay, so record ID and LMS data and record data. Okay, fine. So I have created a lightning message channel. This is nothing but a master label. Okay, I just created a master label for giving as a sample message channel as a label. You can say it's kind of a API or label name, something like that. Okay, so now I created a LMS totally. Okay, fine. Now I want to use this LMS. So what I need to do? I have to go to the LWC. Okay, in the LWC, I have to create some kind of component where the component don't have the relationship. So here I think I am already having the component LMS. Yeah, LMS component A and LMS component B. Okay, so this LMS component A. So you guys will understand what is lightning cord and what is div. Inside the div, I mentioned a lightning input. So lightning input is a kind of a text box. We are going to enter some kind of value. So that is a text. And here I am added a one function on key up, on click. Whenever we are clicking on key up means whenever we are giving any kind of value, that time the function will get called. Fine. And the name is lightning message service A. Fine. And the label is lightning message service A. That is also fine. It's a simple one. Okay, and here in the another div, what I have done, I created a one lightning button, that is a variant button. So the label is publish, and here also it is having a on click. So whenever I'm clicking the on click, it is calling the handle publish. So what is this handle publish? Can anyone tell?
The function that was binding.
Great guys, seriously, great. This is a function. We are going to call it the JS. That's awesome. Okay, so now let's see this functions. So first we will see this in the UI. Okay, instead of seeing here, we will see it in the UI. Okay, fine. So let's see. This is a LMS component A, which we given the title here, LMS component A. Okay, and we given the input box as a name is lightning message service A, lightning message service A. Fine. And this is the input box that is also coming fine. And you can see this is a publish button that is also coming fine. Okay, that publish button here. So on like what will happen on click, it will do something. Okay, so now I'm just mentioning the marriage or this is a weekend, so I will mention the weekend. Okay, weekend. So now I enter whenever I'm doing the key up, it will call the input handler. I'm going to the JS, and what is doing whenever I'm typing the key like this, whenever I'm typing the one by one key, it is doing something in the backend. What is doing? This is the input value. This is your local variable. I'm assigning the value. What are the value I'm entering here? That's it. Okay. What are the value I'm entering here? Those all the values now will be stored in the like this way. Okay. If I'm changed to 456, so now what will happen? This will change to 456. This input value. Clear? That's what we have mentioned, because whenever it is coming, this lightning input is coming, it will come as an event in the JS. So inside the event, I'm targeting this input text box. So inside the target, I'm getting this value. That's it. That's why I'm using the event.target.value. I'm storing that value in the input value. That's it. Fine. So let's see now. So now I mentioned the weekend, because we don't forget the weekend. So here, publish. Whenever I'm clicking, I don't know what kind of action it will do. Let's see. Okay, from here itself, let's see. I'm not clicking, but let assume it. When I click, what will happen? This will call the JavaScript function. I'm going there. So inside this JavaScript function, You can see it here. I have created a one const message variable. So that you can see this kind of an object. Okay, in the object, what is happening? I have created a LMS data. Okay, I'm referring the LMS data. So I don't know what is LMS data. Okay, fine. So inside this LMS, this is a key and this is a value. Okay, this is also an object. This is storing the value. That value is a key of value. Inside this, I'm mentioning the this dot input value. Okay, so this dot input value is what? What are the value we have given here that would be stored here? So now I mentioned the weekend. So now this would be the weekend. So now this value should be the weekend. Okay, but here you can see it LMS data. I something mentioned the some keyword LMS data. So have you guys seen this LMS data before? Where we seen this LMS data?
No.
No.
It is inside message channel, lightning message channel.
Oh, yeah. We seen it in the lightning message channel. In the lightning message channel, how we seen? It is kind of a field, right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So, okay, no problem. So in the lightning message channel, here you can see, oh, sorry, LMS message data, LMS data. This is a one kind of field. So now I'm telling this, now I'm not fetching anything. I'm just telling, creating one variable. Okay, but those value is going to store in the message. Okay, so now you can see it. It is doing a some kind of publish. So now let's see what is publish. Okay, so and okay, so if I'm publish something, I'm publish this context. Okay, fine. This sample we don't know what is, and we don't know message. Okay, so now let's see what is publish and what is subscribe or what is unsubscribe and all. Okay, so let's see. I will tell one good example. Okay, if you guys are with me, this will example will clearly help you about the LMS. Okay, so I am having a one YouTube channel. Okay, I'm having a YouTube channel. I'm the owner of the YouTube channel. Okay, so now you can say Deepak. Deepak is my subscriber. Okay, so Deepak is subscribed my channel, my YouTube channel. Okay, so what is the use of subscription? So whenever I'm putting any kind of new video, so the Deepak will get it, right? Right or wrong? I think everyone is used to YouTube, not only me.
Yeah, that is correct.
Correct. So I'm the owner. I'm going to put some kind of video today, so the Deepak will receive it, that video. So how? Because Deepak is subscribed to my channel. Okay, so concept, this is the concept. So now I'm the owner, I'm going to publish it. Okay, so this is the component A. I'm going to publish the value. What are the value I am entered here? Okay, so now what will happen in the YouTube also? What will happen whenever you are putting the video, that video will going to be database and store it in the somewhere, right? So now whenever I'm publishing this weekend, this value, it is going to, guys, can you please unmute yourself? Sorry guys, please unmute yourself. Okay, so now if I published it, it will go and store in somewhere. So now where it is, I'm telling, go to the lightning message channel. In the lightning message channel, for this content, store it in the lightning message fields as your LMS data. So now this weekend will be go to the lightning message channel. Okay, where, okay, lightning message channel. So here we are having the lightning message fields. So inside the LMS data, I'm storing this weekend. Okay, so now whomever is subscribed to my channel, they will get this weekend. Okay, so now I'm publishing it. That's why I have mentioned the publish here. So let's see what are the way I have to follow if I need to publish. First, you have to import the message channel, which message channel you are going to use. So I already told you message channel is kind of an object. That's why it's mentioned the underscore underscore c. Okay. So I'm going to, this is the like a simple one. So that's why I mentioned. Right, Deepak, you are right. So this is a simple one. Here I'm just first importing the lightning message channel, then only I can able to do it. That's why I imported the lightning message channel. If you have some more channel, just take an example, Salesforce Hulk. So this is a kind of a lightning another message channel. Okay, so the same way we can use anything name if we have the lightning message channel which we already created. Fine.
Naresh, one more doubt here is you told that a sample message channel, right? Should we have to give any extension for creating of that message channel?
The extension means what? For what?
Initially, you have told that creating of that message channel, right? So
It
how
is, yeah, it is simply, that's why I told you, it is simply you have to first create a folder in the force app. So here in the force app main default, where the lightning component and aura component is there. So there you have to create a simple folder message channels. Okay, this is a message channels. Inside the message channel we have so many of message channel. Okay, it is kind of a XML file. It is kind of a XML file, simple XML file. For that XML file, you have to give the naming. First, you have to user define. You can give any name. After that, dot, you have to give the name like this: message channel hyphen meta. It is just a simple of XML format. That's it. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, Lokesh. Great. So now, you guys understand. So I have imported which channel I want to use. I want to publish. I imported channel. Fine. Okay. So now let's see. I think let's see here in the line number 3. I am importing the service. I'm importing the service, which means message service. So now you can see the PubSub model is a Lightning web component, that is a service component before we used. Nowadays, Salesforce is given a future of Lightning message service. So this Lightning message service, we have to import it. So here, what are the options available? Unsubscribe, subscribe, message context, and publish, and application scope. So we will see few things only. Okay, publish. So now I'm going to publish, like, okay, and this message context. So you have to say what is message context. So whenever you are going to implement the lightning message channel, you have to import the message context, and you have to use the wire, and you have to do like this. This is the way of format which is expected when you are going to utilize the lightning message channel. Okay, clear? Fine. So now this message context we understand. What is publish? So I already told you. Now I'm going to upload a video. Okay, so now I'm going to send the input value is a weekend to the my channel is sample message channel. So inside the sample message channel, I have created so many of blogs. So there I'm telling the field is a LMS data. Fine. So now I'm telling this is the syntax to publish it. Publish of message context. So this is a message context. This dot context I have just mentioned. Fine. Okay, this is a keyword you have to mention like this way. And the message channel, what message channel we are going to send? Sample message channel I have imported. So that I have added here. And what kind of message I am going to send? That message is which I have created here. Clear? Got it? Paka. Okay. So now I am published the keyword value. Okay, now I have published the keyword value. So now where I will receive that value, where I want to receive. Whenever you want to subscribe, you will receive. Okay, because we don't have any kind of relationship. I am a component B, component C, component D, whomever. If you subscribed it, you will receive the data. So for that, need to subscribe. So for that, what I need to do? I need to go to another component, that is the component X. So in X, you can see the HTML. I am not done much. Just created a lightning pod, message service X, and here that publish. I just created a p tag, and I mentioned one. I binded a data variable, message service. Sorry, message received. Okay, and here I'm creating a one more button. So this we can see it later. Okay, and I'm going to the JS. So what this value message received in the JS I'm sharing. This is a message is a local variable. Okay, so now I want whenever the component A is published, I want that kind of data in the component X. But we don't have any kind of relationships. That's why we are using the lightning message service. Okay, like the same YouTube concept. Okay, so now if I want the data, I need to subscribe it, right? So for the subscription, I want to create a one kind of method like this subscription mode. Like this subscription mode, you can give any kind of name, but this subscription, that is very important. Okay, this subscription is nothing but you are going to subscribe the channel. Let me check the channel. We have the YouTube channel as well. Fine. Let's check it out. Okay. Yeah, Deepak, right. So now let's come to let's see the chat. So now we have to do the subscriptions. So for the subscriptions, I just already told you subscribe, publish, and unsubscribe, message context. See in the message context, I have already written like this. So I have to written like this. I done. Okay. So now I'm telling the subscription from the subscription where it to be. It to be in the application scope because I'm going to be working the application. That's why I mentioned the application scope. Okay, so I mentioned in the scope, I first in the subscribe. Inside the script, this is the syntax for the subscribe, which we see in the publish is different. Now we are going to see the subscribe syntax is different. So here message context. So what is context? This context, I mentioned this dot context, fine. And what is the message channel? This message channel, which I'm imported here, that is also fine. So now this message is coming. Okay, I want the message. So I want the message means that message will receive the kind of data. Okay, so for that, what I need to do? Can anyone tell? So
Means
now in
we
this,
are calling that the handle message by passing that message parameter.
that's great. Okay, so we are receiving some kind of data. So for that, you can say for that best practices, I created a one more method. Okay, so that method is this dot handle message, which means it's the method name is handle message. Here I will receive this message, which message whenever I'm typing the value on Pradeep or Anand or Deepak, that time that value will be stored in the one variable. Whenever I'm clicking the publish button, that value will go to the LMS. Okay, and in the LMS, I specifically mentioned in the LMS data, it have to store as the value. Fine, so it has been successfully stored. So now I'm going to subscribe it. For the subscription, I'm going to create this method. Here I mentioned in the context, I mentioned in the message channel. So here what is the listener? The listener is nothing but the message which we will listen, which means it will return the value. That value is coming as a message, and I'm sending this message to my another function. So here it is coming this message. I'm going to store that message value in the my local variable, that local variable which I mentioned in the line number 5. So I am accessing, in the JavaScript, if you want to access a variable, you have to use this dot, right? So for that, I use a this dot message service is equal to what the value is coming, message dot what field I want to use. Here there are so many fields: LMS data, record ID, record data. Here what field I need to use now? Can anyone?
Record data.
Sorry,
Record data.
record data.
No,
Okay.
no.
Then
Publisher that publishes the data that we have to listen, right?
okay, yeah, right. So what in the published, what like from which data they have published?
LMS data.
Right. In the LMS data they have published. So for that, what we have to use here in the subscription side, we are reading the message now. So here we have to use the LMS data. We are going to access that value message dot LMS data dot value. If that value is there, okay, it will store the value here. If the value is not there, it will store no message published. Okay, guys, understand it?
Okay, in the LMS data, you told that it contains of value, right? What value it is stored? So whatever we have entered that value only, right?
Right, exactly.
Okay.
So now what value we have entered? This is a weekend. This is a Saturday. So that's why I entered the weekend. Now in this subscription, okay, sorry, this subscription, in this message received, if I'm clicking that publish button, what we will receive? We will receive the weekend, right? So where I use this message received variable, the HTML, I used in the published message and equal to this. So now after this, we are expecting the value of what? After this value, what we are expecting the value? Can anyone?
We can
publish message. Yeah?
See, this is a message. Yeah. Go ahead. Hello.
Value is weekend only.
Values is weekend only. That's right. Because we are going to send the weekend value, we are going to publish it. So now, I'm clicking the publish. So now you guys can see. We can. Okay. If I'm telling Deepak, if I'm clicking a publish, it's coming. Okay. If I'm telling Anand, sorry Anand, if your spelling mistake is wrong. If I'm clicking publish, see, the thing is, this component and this component don't have the relationship. But now we use the LMS to send the data from this component to this component. You can see like how efficient it is, right? So maybe you guys have understand this concept. Actually, this is quite advanced. You can say you guys have understand it. If you guys have not understand it, just go through the video for 10 minutes. Okay, for this, you will easily understand. That's it. And then you will create an LMS channel from your or your client side, your requirement, and you will utilize this. Okay, I think that's why I went slow, but I hope everyone is understanding what is LMS.
Can you show that code once?
Okay, sure. Nothing code. I think who's the name? Location. Nothing code location. See, see, I'm also like in my mind. Okay, I don't remember like how to write the LMS data and how to fetch that LMS data that value. Okay, I also do the Google. Okay, the thing is the concept is important. Okay, you have to know if you are sending this data here, you have to receive the data here. How you have to receive it? You have to subscribe it. Okay, for the subscriptions, still like I have not completed the subscriptions. Okay, so now that value is stored in the message that received, and I made it the subscription mode. But how it will be do the subscription? That is the important thing. That is the important thing we have to know. So you guys will know connected callback, right? So whenever the components get initiated, the connected callback will run. Okay, so here I'm doing the subscription. So what I'm doing, the connected callback, whenever the component get initiated, that time the connected callback will call. Inside the connected callback, I'm mentioning the line number level subscription won't have to call. So subscription mode is nothing but we seen it. I'm doing the subscription. Okay, once the subscription is done, I'm receiving a one message. That message I'm calling another method, this dot handle message. Inside this message, I'm just assigning the value to the local variable. So this local variable is going to be seen here. Okay.
Okay, you have wrote that scope is equals to application scope, right?
Right. Yeah, this scope I already told, right? I'm going to be working in the application scope side only. So that's the reason I mentioned application scope.
Do you have
Clear?
the component scope also in this?
Yeah, I think we have some more scopes. I don't like to just like mention it like this way. And MS. Okay, and lightning. Yeah, they have the documentation. Let me share the document to you because there are lots of things to understand. Not only like a simple things. So the scopes of like sorry. Yeah, in the scope model, like here you can see this kind of the subscription options. Actually, for that we have, I don't know, like that component scope option is available or not. We have the application scope to be receive any kind of message while doing the subscriber options. Okay. If you gone through this if you gone through this document, you will get clarity.
Okay, in the you have mentioned that lightning message service, right? Message service, you have mentioned different types of methods like subscribe, unsubscribe, and different
Publish.
Methods. Yes, yes. So
Yeah,
is that
right.
all are default methods, right?
Yeah, it is kind of a see. What is unsubscribe? So now you are the same. Like you subscribe my channel. Okay, you subscribe my channel. Now you are going to unsubscribe it. So if you unsubscribe, what will happen? If I'm putting any kind of update, you will not receive it, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, that's the concept. It's an easy YouTube concept. Okay, but we are using it in the LMS as a lightning message service. That's it. I don't know, like the same. I think some people has before explained or not. But I am having this kind of example. This is a very good example. We will learn the LMS. I can give you assurance if you work as a 1 year also in LWC. Some people will don't know about the LMS. Okay. So maybe if you are a fresher, if you learn the LMS, you are the great. So that I can show. Okay, guys, clear? Is PubSub model is different from LMS? No, that is also a same thing. Okay, it's not a much difference, but PubSub model is a service component. It is same as a Lightning Web component, where we are going to utilize some standard JavaScript functions. That's it, which means subscribe, unsubscribe, the same thing. But like here, I can also give the demo on the PubSub model. But like nowadays, people are using LMS. Okay, so you just learn the LMS. So wherever it is required, try to implement the LMS. Okay, if you understand the LMS concept, you can easily understand the PubSub model. That's it. It is not big at all because the LMS model is built from the PubSub model only. It is very like you can say the thing, but the LMS is Salesforce is giving this functionality. Okay, but PubSub model we are creating the functions. That's it. Okay, Deepak.
Yeah, got it. Thank you.
Okay, Deepak. Thank you, Deepak.
And you mentioned that connected callback, right? In the connected callback is initialized whenever the component is loaded, right? If the browser loads, it will work, right?
Yeah. So actually, I supposed to complete. I think unletter component done. Okay. So this 14 only I supposed to complete. Okay. See guys. So again, I'm telling. If you want to learn the Salesforce inside the Salesforce LWC, there are lots of things. Okay. There are lots of things to learn. Okay. So this connected callback will play a role as a life cycle hook. Okay, so I will give you today like life cycle hook. What is life cycle hook and how it is working about? Okay, so like see, we have the connected callback and we have the rendered. Okay, we have the rendered callback. Okay, and we have the constructor. Those all the things. Okay, so maybe I don't know like exact. Let me show one that is I think I taken from another site only. But anyhow, like I can give this. Sorry, on this. Fine. This will, I think, help you about the life cycle hook. Okay. So, oh, sorry. Fine. So now, guys, see, can you see my screen, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. This is also very important. Maybe actually, like, see, if I'm adding so many topics in the my PowerPoint, there are lots of things to add. Okay, that's why I added a few things. But I think this is also very important one you have to learn. That's why like I'm showing now. Okay, just understand the concept. Okay, so the component. So now you guys will very well know what is parent component, child component. Okay, let's see the life cycle hook, which means the order of executions in the LWC. Okay, so the component life cycle will start first whenever I'm doing the refresh. Okay, so in the JavaScript side, what will happen? It will call the constructor first. Okay, the constructor you guys very well know in the Apex class side, right? It will call the constructor first, but in the constructor, most of the people will not use because in the constructor, some of the property is not available. Okay, if you are getting any kind of value from the parent to child, okay, that is a public property at API. Okay, that time that property also you can't able to access it. It will say as a undefined because you can see the flow. It will open the constructor first and then it will update the public property. So what is a public property? We already seen it.
At the rate API.
At the rate API. That at the rate API, where the value is coming. It is coming from the
constructor called.
It is coming from the parent component. For example, we seen the message value. We are sending from the parent to child. The child I have created at the API and I'm receiving the value. Okay. But when it will receive after the constructor is called. So the constructor is don't have the use. So ignore the constructor. Now come to the public property. So the public property will get updated. And after what will happen? The component is inserted into the DOM. Okay, it's simple concept. And then connected callback will run. Okay, once the component inserted into the DOM, the connected callback will get initiated. Okay, so once the connected callback is get initiated, the component rendered, which means the component will rendered first, which means all the details, all the things will are rendered in the backend. Okay, and here it is a main thing. So here it will check, is there any child component in our HTML? Okay, if we have any child component, what will happen? It will go to this again. What the things is followed here, again it will go to the child and it will do it here. Okay, so and after it will check from the child component, is there any other inter child? If it don't have, it will call the rendered callback. Okay, it will call the rendered callback in the child side, not in the parent side. Okay, so once first it will initiate the parent. Oh, not a parent. First it will initiate a one component. So that component will start constructor. Okay, fine. And it will update the public property. Okay, fine. And it component inserted into DOM. Okay, fine. Current callback will run. Okay, fine. Component is rendered. Done. And it will check, is there any child component? where we see component A and component B, child component, which we associated in the parent component. If there any chance which we already done, so it will check. It will go to this and it will make the child component alignment. Okay, and if you don't have any component, what will happen? It will call the rendered callback. Once the rendered callback is done in the child side, after that only the parent rendered callback will call. Okay, so this is the use of connected callback and the rendered callback. So the connected callback will run when the component is initiated, and the rendered callback will run once all the child component is inserted into the DOM. Okay, so that's the efficient. After what will happen? The component lifecycle is end. So you guys get it?
Yes. Now we got clear understanding how that callbacks are working.
See, this is also I'm telling. More people don't know this this execution. Yes, well explained. Got it.
So
Yeah.
if we know that executions means if we stuck anywhere some error means we can debug and get that error
Right.
resolved, right? So that's
Right.
what we are asking.
Right. Let me show, because not only we don't need to know, see that screenshot or PPT. We have to check it in the our side itself. Okay. So for that, I will show. Okay. So no issue. Let me create a new component. Fine. Which is this? Okay. This is fine. So I'm just simply, after we will wind up this session, I'm just creating a uh, basic parent component. Okay, sorry. Sorry, I have not mentioned that which which I'm going to create. Control Shift P. I'm going to create a Lightning Web component. I mentioned basic parent component. Enter. Fine. So now I'm going to the HTML. Guys, please be with me. Okay, and possibly I explain how to design component using assemblies tomorrow. Actually, yeah, Deepak, there are lots of things to do. Like I will try to cover my topics as I planned. Okay, so if I'm getting any, so this is also not in my plan, but I'm giving this to you. Okay, because that will help you. So here I'm just creating a one lightning cord. Okay, forgive, yeah, I'm giving the parent component. This is your parent component. Fine, guys. So now I'm going to the JS. Inside the JS, what I need to do? Let's see. Let's come to this picture, this PowerPoint. Constructor, right? I think I already written the constructor. I don't know if I already there. Yeah. Okay, I think I am already having lifecycle parent JS. Now instead of writing this thing, I will give it demo here itself. So lifecycle parent. So okay, expected console. I'm clearing the console. I'm just refreshing this. So now the components get initiated and all. Okay. So now you guys can see it. Guys, are you with me, right? Whomever is Lokesh or more girls and Deepak, Amar, Yasin, everything. Okay, fine. So now you guys see the console, the parent component, which I have written here. This is a live parent component. Constructor is called. So parent constructor is called. Parent constructor is called. First, it is running the constructor. Okay. Whenever you are going to run the constructor, you have to use the super keyboard. then only your constructor will work. Okay. So now in the console, first what is print? It is printed the parent constructor called. Okay. And second time what is printing? So here, no need to see here. Second, what is printed? Connected callback, right? The connected callback, I already told you, if you see the PPT, constructor called and it is sending to the property. So that is fine. And after which one lifecycle will call? Connected callback. So that's why connected callback is called. Fine. After connected callback, what will happen? It will check. It will check is there any child component or not. So now is there any child component? Because I have done it in the conditional rendering. That's why it is not going to the inside of this. It is straightly calling the rendered callback. That's why I'm getting the parent rendered callback called. Okay. So now let's remove it. I'm just clicking a open child. Okay. So now I just click the open child. So once open child is happened, okay, what will happen? So now this component lifecycle, this will say as a yes. So once it is yes, it will come to here and it will come to as a child component. So now I have to go to the child component. So where this is the child. So inside the child, I'm having the constructor. You can see child constructor is called, child constructor is called. And second, what will happen? Connected callback will call. Connected callback will call. Okay. And loading of, you'll just ignore it. And the third one, what will happen? And the third one, what will happen? Can anyone tell? Here. Constructor is called, connected callback is called, component is rendered, and rendered callback in the child. Right? In the child. So you can see child rendered callback called. So now what will happen? Can anyone tell? Now what will happen?
Rendered callback
for parent.
Yeah. So now that is a very important. You guys have to know. In the parent, rendered callback is also called. Okay. That's why I'm getting the parent rendered callback. This is the concept of lifecycle OOPs and the lifecycle of the LWC. Okay, this is very advanced one. Okay, so now you understand it, how it is getting called. Maybe in the future, you can add once the child component is settled down. Okay, so that time you are going to do any kind of actions with the help of child component details. You will use in the parent. You can use a rendered callback, or else if you want to initiate any kind of things before the rendered callback is called, you can use the connected callback. Okay, hope you guys now understand it, right? So this is the way I plan to convey today. So I think we've seen so many things to do, and this is my first section. So I'm almost taking more than 3 hours, I guess, almost to 3.5 hours. So Anand, so this is a way I have planned today.
Okay.
So we will wind up.
Yes, sure. Thank you, Naresh, for your wonderful time. And I think you yesterday you said that it's the first time you are going to take in the community, but really it's amazing that you have done a great job, and all the best for you.
Seriously, Anand, this is my very first, because like in this before 50 people is there, but I don't know like how to take. Still, I am having a fear. But the thing is, my mind will work always. At least whenever I'm trying to give any kind of content, the people have to understand it. That's my concept.
Yeah, understood. It's very useful thing. You are making the session as a very interactive, and thanks a lot.
Thanks, Anand. So thank you guys. If you guys have any doubts, also you can note it down for tomorrow sections. We will see it. Okay. Before going to I start, I will make some time for the Q&A. You guys can ask. And before asking, so this is not only for me, because I'm a trainer, so I'm giving the training. Okay. So if you are guys asking some questions, yeah, I can able to answer it. Some of the questions I don't know. So before that, going to ask any kind of question, you just Google it. Okay, that's I from my standpoint view, I am telling. Okay, because I will do like that way. Before asking to any question, you just Google it. From the Google, you will get the answer. So what will happen? Like you no need to depend some people to return the answer. You can do the like you can search the answer from your end. That will help you in the future. Then you will be the good developer, and you will I overpay scale. Everything will be go high. Okay, so that's why I want to convey from my side. And otherwise, you can give the feedback to Anand. Maybe I don't know how the process is going. Like my training sessions.
Yeah, thank you, Naresh, for your time.
Thanks, Anand.
Thank you, team. Thank you.